You know, they say that wise people will watch the Trucker John live stream. Yes, that's what they say. Are you wise? Trucker John is about to start, so prepare yourself for some titillating conversation. They say I'm farting in court. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's my lawyer. It's the lawyer doing it. The other lawyer. Yay, Trucker John's about to come on. Yee-hoo-hoo. I got a little sun today. Well, it's the Trucker John show's about to come on, I guess. Well, lottie-da, lottie freaking da. Hey, man, stay tuned for Trucker John. Did I say Trucker John? I meant Trucker John. I'm the one doing the drugs, not Trucker John. Oh, yes. I don't even know why I'm here. Johnny Million, eat your heart out. Oh! What? I kind of look like Andy Reid. Come a little closer.
This is supposed to be some sort of voice changer or something, but I really don't notice any difference.
Oh, please. Are you guys waiting for the Trucker John show? Just like me? Yeah, I know. It takes a while, I know. I'm waiting here too, just like you guys are. Don't bother me. I'm resting and relaxing and giving the cucumber thing in my eyes. Oh, say, can you see? Well, well, well. So we meet again. Huh? What? What'd you say? Something about Trucker John or something? I didn't quite catch that. Enough with the filters, dude. It's not even funny. It's just stupid. It's just Snapchat filters. You think you're some sort of like funny dude doing this shit? You're not. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have to remember not to talk until the mic is on. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. Here I am, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, I guess. Just checking out the chat real quick. We got Mr. Spock. Hey, live long and prosper over there. Jolie's here. Carrie C's here. All right. Mr. Spock says that's a big truck. I think I have truck envy. Yeah, that was a pretty good sized truck, you know, your standard tractor there for your 18-wheeler. Who else? Aaron's here. Hey, good to see Aaron West. We got Carrie C. Fancy, never fear, Fancy is here. Roxanne Armfield is here. Thanks, Roxanne, for being here. WW is here. Hey, everybody, don't make me name you. Jeannie's here. Good to see Jeannie. Good to see you. And I guess that's it. Got 10 watching and we got 11 thumbs up. So, hey, that's a pretty good ratio. But, yeah, keep those thumbs ups coming. Like, subscribe, and share. We're up at still in the 1700s and subs. We're trying to get to, you know, well, 1 billion, of course, but I guess the immediate goal is see if we can get to 2,000 subscribers. That'd be pretty cool. The big 2000. Walter Makarovich is here. Says hi, Trucker John. Great hockey game last night. Go Stars, go! Yeah, man. Damn the Golden Knights. They come home with a 2-0 lead. And now that, well, I think it's even, right? 2 games apiece. So for us Vegas folks, that's not good, man. That's not good. MJ Daniel, good morning. Says good morning to everybody, or says good morning. I added it to everybody. I think it's implied. WW says I don't like you pixels one little bit. WW trying to reuse a joke from the last show, I guess. From yesterday. WW Pixel People, Roxanne says, hiya, Jolie. And Jolie says, like, subscribe, and share. So how y'all doing? Here it is in Las Vegas, 9:14 in the Pacific time zone. And we're looking at 73 degrees. And they say we're going to get a high of 90 today. So here's our 90-degree day. I think we've got a few of those coming up. And then it's supposed to start doing a cooling thing. So this time of year, it kind of goes up and down. Yeah, we're going to hit 90 today. So, but what are you going to do? It's the desert. Michael Andrews, I'm number 11. Alrighty then. And then I see 12. So someone's number 12. I don't know who is, but someone is. Anyhow, let me let's see. These glasses look a little foggy here, or whatever. Let me just do a quick wipe down. And let's see what's been going on. Anything going on? So we got protesters at the school campuses. Kids are protesting the Gaza-Israeli war, I guess we call it, going on over there. Just before I came on, I was reading this article on a Substack article about, there were reports that whatever the non-peaceful sort of aspects that's going on with these protests, that these are by outsiders. These aren't the college. These aren't the students. And students are saying, we don't know who these people are. They're outsiders. They're infiltrating their group. So beware of that. If you see on campus where these protests are going on and you see graffiti being painted and any kind of property destruction, it's probably not even a student. It's probably some agitator brought in from, some sort of, put up. I wouldn't doubt if they were put up by this sort of Hamas, Hezbollah, Russia, Iran-backed kind of, group or whatever. Anyhow, there's that. That's what's going on. But in the meantime, let's see what's going on in the chat here. Big Hook says, half past a freckle, quarter to a hair. Walter Makarovich says, 9,000 less in Trump's pocket. As of now, Noam is a real piece of work. So did Trump get fined or something? And yeah, Noam is a psychopath. I will just say it. Fancy says Trump has got held in contempt. Okay, good. That's good. Walter Makarovich says, throw her in the gravel pit. MJ Daniel says, we will be 50s today here in the Western Washington and all the way up to 60s the next couple of days, a real heat wave. Well, enjoy that nice, cool weather. I'm envious because I like cooler weather. W says 56 and sunny in Rockford, supposed to get close to 80. Dealing with rotten fence posts. I try to stay out of the workers' ways, but they keep needing stuff. Michael and Andrew's puppy killers are sick. Big Hook, how's my Huggy Bear Jolie? MJ Daniel, I believe that the right-wing trolls did this with BLM marches too. Yeah. Yep, I remember that. WW can't believe that Christie is #1 MAGA pick for VP. I guess they love puppy killers. WW says anyone else would be in jail. And there you have it. I had to tackle a dog one time. We had this dog that I think it was called God, what the fuck was it? I had it on the tip of my tongue. It's a huge dog. It was I can't remember the breed. I can't even say it. It's a weird name, but the thing is fucking huge. I mean, it had a chest that was just. I mean, I could like just kind of like punch his chest, because it was so solid, and like I would just do it playfully. But and when the thing stood up on his hind legs, it was about as tall as I was, and I'm like 6 feet tall. And I don't know how much the thing weighed. I never weighed it, but the thing, was at least 100 pounds or more. I don't know. I think it was huge. And the funny thing about it is when it was in the house, the dog thought it was like a little lap dog because it would jump up. And I swear to God, this thing was as big as I was. It would jump up on your lap and sit on your lap on the couch and you'd be like, get off of me. And then it would turn his head around like, what? I just want to cuddle and watch TV with you. But it was this huge fucking dog, right? I mean, massive. Biggest dog I've ever seen. And I'm trying to think of the name of the breed, like Via Processo, Canera Processo, Procesiputupus. I don't know. Whatever the thing is called. And so anyhow, one time we went to the park. We took the dog to the park, and there was a lot of people that had dogs. And we took it off the leash because we thought we could trust it or whatever. And all of a sudden, there was this like little kind of poodle kind of dog, like a small poodle, like, 50 yards away or something. And for whatever reason, Bella was the name of the dog, just saw that other dog and like just fucking you know, darted over to that other dog before I could even do anything, and actually like sort of like had its jaws around its neck and started like doing this, and the owners of it, they're freaking out. And I just like, and this was quite a while ago. I could still run then. This is like, almost 20 years ago probably. And I just ran. I ran across the field, and I just, it was like my old football days kicked in. I literally just, in a full run, full all-out run, I just fucking did a full tackle, wrapped my arms around that fucking dog, and brought it to the ground. And then when that happened, then it let go of the dog that was the little poodle. And I just, I just wrapped, I just did a, complete tackle, wrapped it, took it to the ground. And Bella didn't do anything to me because Bella, maybe just, I mean, I'm sure Bella could have probably fucked me up, but, she didn't. And I just totally tackled her and then just grabbed her and then, and then I was like, I was like apologizing to the people. I'm so sorry. And the dog was okay. The little poodle was okay. But, if we hadn't stopped it, who knows what it would have done to it. Because it was doing had it kind of by his neck, was kind of like shaking it, And, but I didn't kill the dog. I didn't go shoot it. I just remember, we felt really bad about the poodle, and we were like, really. But then I just took Bella by the collar, kind of, and we walked back to where we're at, and then I think we just left. And I think we ended up taking that dog back or something, because she was just kind of hard to handle, in public. She was great at the house, but we couldn't really take her out anywhere. I don't know. It was like my son's dog, and so they decided to get a different dog or something. But I remember tackling that fucking dog. But so sometimes dogs are unruly, or sometimes dogs, and I'm not the greatest dog trainer in the world. I'm probably like Kristi Noem in that respect. I've never really been good at training dogs. But I didn't kill. At least I didn't shoot it or kill it or anything. I just was trying to stop it from killing that other little dog. But it was a huge dog. I probably have a picture of it somewhere. I could bring it up. Major Daniel says, our yellow lab Maggie would have been a terrible hunting dog, but she was with us 16 years. Known as a psychopath. I believe she is. I believe so. Mitchell Spock says, a dog is no longer a puppy after 6 months. The story was leaked to create reaction. Nobody likes to be played. Well, Michael Mangelo, 1-year-old dog is a 1-year-old dog. They say it was like 14 months old. So yeah, it's not like a little baby puppy. At this point, it's pretty much maybe physically full grown, but it's still a young dog. It's still a very young dog, and it still has a lot of growing to do, especially maturing and things. MJ Daniel said a couple of months ago, the store there was a truck with 4 Newfoundland and Great Dane in the back, and all of them wanted to be petted. Of course, they love to be petted. Big Hook met a bull mastiff once, scariest dog I ever encountered. Like 4 feet tall, huge head, bloodshot eyes, and long drool hanging from its mouth like it had finished eating another victim. Jolie, I would refer to a 1-year-old dog as a puppy still. Their bodies might be fully grown, but they're very much puppies. Yeah, they're still, they're still developing, mentally, I guess. We had a small retriever that was a little more on the wild side, hated it indoors, didn't like being chained up either, dug huge holes and got real dirty, but liked to be washed. Fancy, my cat has a bad attitude. Don't they all? Don't all cats? MJ Daniel, our lab was really sweet, but she loved to chew on the furniture when she was a puppy. Big Hook, his parents scared me, but belonged to an old Italian couple. W1 equals 7. A 7-year-old is still a kid. Mr. Spock, Hector thought he would have a 2 a.m. buffet. I guess that's Hector the cat. Killed one of my chicks, pissed me off, but Hector is 15 and didn't know any better. Joey, I have a cockatiel with a very bad attitude. I fancy I love him. He's so funny. Hisses at me all the time. Acts like he's going to bite me. Just puts his beak on me. Doesn't bite down. I don't like birds, actually. One of my friends, this is quite a while ago, but they had this bird. This is a long time ago. Oh God, this is way longer than I think it's back in the early 90s, I guess. But I was at his house, and he had some kind of fucking bird. What was it, man? I forget what kind of fucking bird it was, man. But they let it out. They had it in a cage, and then they let it out of the cage, and they're like, yeah, stick your arm out. And I think fortunately, I felt really fortunate because I hadn't taken my jacket off yet. And I was wearing this leather jacket, a black leather jacket, And they put the fucking bird on my arm, and all of a sudden, this bird puts his beak like around my wrist with his fucking beak, and it was like biting down really hard. And I was like, and I'm trying not to freak out because they say like animals sense fear or whatever. But I'm like what's he doing? I go, it fucking hurts. It fucking hurts. Get him off of me, And so then it took a little while for the thing to get him to unclamp. And I swear to God, and it did leave a mark on my arm. And if I hadn't been wearing that leather jacket, I feel like the thing would have fucking cut my arm off, my hand off or something. So I don't like fucking birds. Ever since that day. Fancy says chickens are evil. Big Hook, if you can hand train lovebirds, they hang on your shoulder and will nibble on your ears. Yeah, you guys can have the birds. I guess I'm not into all these animals. I like dogs, I like cats, that's about it. My ex kept buying birds. She would buy these fucking birds, and then put them in the cage, and then they don't want to be responsible. Then the cage gets all full of shit, and then who has to clean it? I gotta fucking clean it because no one else would fucking clean it. And I'm like, you guys want to get these fucking animals? You don't want to take care of them. It's the same way with the dogs. They get all these animal dogs and stuff, and then I'm the one that end up taking care of it all the time. If you want to have a dog, you gotta be responsible for it. And I don't like dogs that shed. So, if I ever get a dog again, it's gonna be a non-shedding dog. I don't like dog hairs all over the fucking place. And cats are pretty cool, but I don't like cats that spray, and I don't like cats that are coughing up fur balls all the time. So I guess I'm just not an animal person after all. But I don't shoot them. I don't even kick them. I tackled that one dog, but that was a had to do it. It was a do or die for that little poodle. So Michael McDaniel said I had a couple gerbils or gerbils. I guess it's gerbils. Goebbels was the German dude, right? Gerbils when I was a kid. Then I had 100 gerbils 100 weeks later. Oops. Michael McAndrew says, gave the ones who didn't escape to the local pet store. Wow. Those little buggers can really multiply, huh? Mr. Spock, oh my jolly birds and attitude. My parents got a parrot. It would throw dishes out the cupboard, bite my father's ears. It had distress and pulling feathers out, they gave it away. Yeah, why put up with that shit? I wouldn't have a bird or any animal that's if it's causing me a bunch of fucking, stress. They're more stress. If it's more stress than it's worth, I wouldn't keep it either. Jolie, that happened to me with guppies at Michael McAndrews. Guppies are fish, right? And that's another thing. My ex would always buy the kids like this aquarium, and then buy fish, and then the fish tank. You got to clean the fish tank, and they would never clean the goddamn fish tank. And who got stuck doing that? It was always me. Jolie says, Mr. Spock, luckily it all seems to just be a show. He doesn't pick at his feathers, and he doesn't really bite. Just likes to pretend to be a badass. Laughing out loud. But you guys have fun with all your animals. I'll be having fun here with no fur balls, no spray smell. Just enjoying my life. Fancy says, what's his name? His name is Mr. Badass. And he has a wallet. This says badass motherfucker. Yeah, Jolie's bird has a wallet. It says badass motherfucker. Anyhow, so what you guys been up to? I've been let's see, what have I been doing? I've been looking at a lot of responses to my video that I put out a few days ago about being woke. That's funny. That's hilarious. A lot of responses. It's kind of funny how so many people that respond to that, most of them are like negative, I guess, to me, or at least, they're all like, I guess, right-wingers or whatever. They're all like, kind of challenging me or calling me names, calling me stupid. And it's funny, almost every time if I check their channel just to check out and see who these people are, almost every single one of them is like 0 subscribers, 0 content. But it will say, a lot of times it'll say like they've been on YouTube since 2008. So they've been either just trolls since 2008, or they just, and I realize that some people, they don't have any content. They're not looking for subscribers, and I guess, and they just come on here just to watch videos. But it's kind of weird how I think almost every single person that I think I've only checked maybe 4 or 5 different, respondents from that video, but every single one of them has been like either no subscribers or maybe 1 subscriber, and like no content at all. It's the same pattern over and over again. So it's kind of weird. Kind of weird how that works out. Jolie says his name is Mr. Squiggles. Big Hook says dogs are a lifetime commitment, while cats are you can love me when I feel like it. You can train dogs, but cats make you serve them. Hey, Midas Kevin's here. Good to see Midas Kevin in the chat room here. Jolie says maybe it's just mad about his name. Yeah, that could be. He's like, how dare you? Michael McAndrews, yep, Big Hook. My cat expects things from me, and if I don't serve him, he will get very mad. Fancy says, my cat yells at me. Michael. And Michael McAndrews says, my cat also gives me hugs. Actual hugs. Wow. That's so cute. Midas Kevin says, Jolie added more to play. I added more to play today. I added some Benny and Diane today. Alvin says, hello, everybody. Hey, Alvin Stubbs here. Good to see you, Alvin. Thanks for coming by as we do just a Tuesday talk with Trucker John. And Mr. Spock says, you have to bow down to the cat gods, the cat gods. Fancy's got the old convoy going. Remember, I kind of did what Trump did. Remember Trump got in the truck and he's like, oh, and he was like, I kind of reminded myself of Trump there for a minute. Very Trumpian of me. How Trumpian of me. But anyhow, yeah, Trump got a fine. Good. I think the next step should be throw him in a holding cell or something. If he can't keep his fucking trap shut when it comes to, exposing or putting out some sort of threat, implied threats against, jurors especially. And then people like the court staff or the judge's family and shit like that. That should not be tolerated. And I would say like these a $9,000 fine or whatever is it would be chump change to most billionaires. But I don't think Trump's really a billionaire. So the $9,000, that might be That might actually hurt because I think the guy is broke. So, Big Cook, what is your favorite movie? Pulp Fiction. Fancy says on the break he had nothing to say. The judge warned him he could be incarcerated. Yeah, they should just throw his ass in a holding cell. They have a holding cell there at the courtroom. Mr. Spock, it's an evolution thing. Cats have developed a mind meld purr. Some humans can't resist it. Yeah. Big Hook, are you sci-fi freak or action? More action, I would say. More to the action side. I mean, it depends on your definition of sci-fi, I guess. But I like some of the sci-fi. If you call, if you call like I guess Star Wars sci-fi. That's like action sci-fi, I think more. But hey, there's 3 girls, 3 wheels. Hey, I'm getting ready to walk my dogs by the river. We are not stopping by any gravel pits. Well, that's good news. Good news to hear. I'm sure the dogs are relieved to hear that. And as long as you're not packing, though, that's they're like, whew, all right, what a relief. Fancy says, hey, this is McJet. McJet says hi. Well, hello back at you, McJet. Good to see you. In the chat here, Fancy says, I'm waiting for the new season of the House of the Dragon. You know what? I never did. Wait, did I finish watching that? I started watching it, and I think I stopped or something. I think it was when I was sort of stopped driving, and I was in between places, and I just sort of stopped watching it. And I remember, it's really good, and I really liked what's his name, Paddy Considine, who played the king. Thought he was really, really good. Right? Was that the right series I'm thinking of? And I don't think I finished that season, actually. I don't think I even finished it. But I don't know, I just kind of get tired of this, like, all these, like, cousins fucking each other and shit or whatever. I mean, okay, I get it. I guess that's how these royal families, kept the royal blood, is they just all fucked each other. But I don't know. I just get tired of it. I don't know. And like I said, I don't think we needed a prequel. I really would have rather had a sequel and picking up where John North, when he went to the North, whatever. I think that's where they should have gone. Maybe they still will, but instead of spending all this time and money and energy on a prequel, I would have rather have had a sequel. But that's just me, and who am I? I'm just Chuck John. No one listens to me. Minus Kevin Anderson says, Julie, I'm thinking of doing some new Alien Super Show cast somehow and Tony Michaels. Wait, what? New Alien Super Show casts somehow and Tony and Michaels. Okay, what's an Alien Super Show? MJ Daniel says, I want to go see the movie Dune in the theater. Looks really good. Yeah, I haven't watched Dune. I heard it's really good. I haven't even watched the first one. And I never even watched the old original one from a long time ago. For some reason, Dune just didn't capture my attention. But I've always heard it's really good. MJ Daniel, we have Amazon Fallout is good. We are waiting for Wheel of Time and Rings of Power. I finished Fallout. Actually, last week I finished Fallout. And I liked it. It was very good, very good. The Rings of Power, that's another one I started watching and then I never finished. And it was good. It was very good. Now, last night I did start watching, what's it called? I don't know if it's Gen V or Gen 5. I don't know. But it's like part of the Boys kind of thing. If you ever watched The Boys. So this is about these, like superheroes and, and this is about this sort of like university where these supers go, these kids, they're like college age kids, and they're supers. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it. But I binge watched yesterday like the first 6 episodes. I guess it's only one season so far, I think. And the new season of The Boys was supposed to come out at the beginning of this year, and so for some reason they pushed it way back. I don't think it's come out yet. I don't think it's going to come out till June or maybe the fall. I don't know, but I remember seeing last year, the end of last year, like little trailers, for it, and it was supposed to come out like right at the beginning of this year, and for some reason I don't know what happened, but they pushed it way back to later in the year. But yeah, so I finally, and that Gen V or Gen 5, Gen VOT, I don't know what it stands for. That's been out for over a year now, and I it was on my watch list, and I think I started watching episode one time a long time ago, and then I thought I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this later. I put it off because I was busy doing other stuff. And I just finally, yesterday, just finally started watching it. So I went ahead and watched the first, I think, 6 episodes. I'm not sure how many episodes there are. I didn't check. It might be only 8 maybe. So I'm almost done with the first season already on that Gen V or Gen 5. I don't know. I don't even remember. Maybe I missed the dialogue. I don't remember them explaining what the V stands for. I don't know if it's 5. I don't know if it's for VOT, because there's the VOT, industry or whatever, if you're familiar with it. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Minus Kevin Anderson says, MJ Daniel, I'm the king of Dune. I've seen every rendition. Big Hook. I wonder if George Lucas Spielberg eras are over with. Well, they're getting old. Like George Lucas seems like he doesn't really direct anymore. Kind of produces, I guess. Spielberg is still producing. Spielberg might still have a few more movies left to know. It seems like George Lucas is kind of just, taking a back seat to everything. Michael McAndrews says the first Dune movie was cool. W says, I can't enjoy fiction anymore. Science fiction is okay if it is well made. Fake emotional drama is free in my world. Sisters and you people, whatever. Min J. Daniel, I read Game of Thrones and lost interest when Martin never finished the series. Oh, he never finished it. Is that why they didn't make a sequel? Can't they just make a sequel on their own without him? W says, Min J. Daniel, the books are written, just not finished. Fancy, the Alien Super Show is funny. Well, what is this? This is the first time hearing of the Alien Super Show, you guys. Let me know what that's about. I never even heard of it until just now. So if you guys want to let me know how to find it, I'll check it out. MJ Daniel says, minus Kevin Anderson. I first read Dune around 1978 in high school. I never read it. I've never read it. Did I skip over Donna? Donna O's here. Oh, hello, Donna O. I didn't mean to skip you. Hello, Donna O. We've got Seha's here. It says, sup, Mudflaps. Hey, Seha, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by as we just chat on this Tuesday talk here. Minus Kevin Anderson says, it's about 3 aliens that crash their ship and end up talking about our politics. Oh, wow. Okay, so is that a YouTube? Are you on YouTube? Maybe we can get the link in here and we can check it out at our leisure. Sounds interesting. Aaron West says Dead Boy Detectives is a nice holdover while we wait for the Sandman season 2. The Sandman, I never even saw season 1. Michael McAndrews, the Alien Super Show is great. Boy, you guys all know about it except me. Why am I just now hearing about this? Why am I just now hearing about this? Why are you guys keeping me out of the loop? Mr. Spock says Space 1999 is streaming on YouTube. Eagles always crash right to the left for some reason. Eagles? Crash to the left? Space 1999? Are those related? Michael McAndrews, I saw the first Fifth Avenue thing. It was crazy and hilarious. Fifth Avenue? I'm not familiar with that either. Jolie says, I forgot about The Boys. I really like that show. We'll have to catch up. I think have they only done 2 seasons? And the season 3 is coming up. And like I said, it was supposed to air the beginning of this year, and for some reason, I guess they weren't ready. It wasn't done yet, and so they pushed it all the way back to some other date. So you got time to catch up, I think, is what I'm trying to say. Michael McAndrews, The Plot Against America was surreal. The Plot Against America, I never saw that either. Seha's here. Hey, Seha gifted 10 Kroger John memberships. Thank you, Seha. That's so awesome of you. Thanks for that. That is greatly appreciated. So much. Jolie says, I still haven't watched the first season of The Sandman. I love the trailers for it, but haven't watched it yet. So where's The Sandman? Where do you watch that at? Michael McAndrews says, John, this Alien Super Show is online on YouTube. 3 very intelligent aliens. I don't understand why I'm just now hearing about this. How long has this been running? And you guys are just now telling me about this? And this is from, was it MJ? And you guys are just now telling me about this? Why do you do this to me? Why do you keep me out of the loop? Big Hook says, spy movies are interesting when you can see their impact on history. And there's the gifts there by Seha. Thank you so much. You see all those folks there got memberships. That's pretty awesome. Pisces Greeters here. Hey, Pisces Greeter, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today as we just kick back, relax, shoot the shit, talk about stuff. Just talk about all kinds of things. WW, I hadn't heard about the Alien show either. Yeah, so apparently this is the best kept secret on YouTube. Fancy says, I need a good Western series to watch. Well, do you remember my suggestion for a reboot of Gunsmoke? Remember that? Wouldn't that be awesome? And how I was laying it all out about who I would cast. I would love to do that. Of course, that's just all a fantasy. I mean, in my head. Aaron West says, Sandman is on Netflix. See, I guess that's the thing, is I stopped my Netflix subscription, or whatever you call it, probably like a year ago. So I haven't really watched anything on Netflix for like a year, I think. So maybe I'll have to. I might have to re-up it just to check it out. Is that like a Stephen King thing or something? The Sandman. Big Hook says, first rule of Cool Club is you don't tell Trucker John about Cool Club. Oh shit, now I'm no longer a member. W says, far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. Wow, that's heavy, man. Pisces Greer says, hi Sarah Cushing, hi Philly 3000. Did I see Sarah Cushing in here? Well, hello Sarah Cushing. I don't know if I said hello or not. Mr. Spock says, Bonanza, Haas Wrestling, a grizzly bear is priceless. Yeah, I used to watch that all the time. Big Hook, Resident Alien. Is that the one with, what's his name, Dudek, or whatever his name is, Tudek? I haven't seen that, but I've heard it was good. Seha says, Trucker John, I screw with you enough. I figured I should support you a bit. Well, thank you, Seha. And I don't mind being screwed with or whatever. As long as you don't spoil a show. And I did finish, if you weren't here, I said earlier, I did finish Fallout. And it was very good. Three Girls, Three Wills says, my favorite when I was a kid was Rawhide, the Western. Oh, I remember Rawhide. That's with Clint Eastwood, right? Was in that. As, what was his name? His character? It was something like Stony River or something. I don't know. Let's see. Big Kick. Neil Gaiman is the Sandman author. Oh, not what's his face? Not King, Stephen King. Bernie W said, Bernie Taupin, one of my favorite poets, writes lyrics for Elton John. Duh. We all know it was Bernie Taupin that wrote the lyrics to all those hits for all those years. And then Elton John would just write the music part of it. They were a great team, great duo. Midas Kevin Anderson says, no, not King. Neil Gaiman wrote Sandman. Mr. Spock, Gunsmoke. Is he dead, Mr. Dillon? I'm afraid so, Chester. Yeah, Alan Tudyk. I think I said that. Yeah, I heard it's really good. I need to check that out. I remember watching, what was the other one Tudyk was in? And it was, I watched those, and I liked it really a lot. It had, the guy that plays Tarzan was in it, or not Tarzan. Yeah, he was Tarzan, huh? And he played the, what was the guy's name? And he played the whale. Anyhow, it was a good show. I can't remember the other show. Maybe you guys can figure out what I'm talking about. WWE, I thought, be all like drama. What's Tarun? I don't know what you're talking about. Midas Kevin, it's about your everyday fears come to life. What is the Sandman or the Super Alien story? Mr. Spock, sorry, Chester was the radio Festus. But I think they had two characters like that, even on the TV show. Because remember, they had the Dennis Weaver one, and then they had the other one with the other dude. And they weren't the same exact character. I think they had different names. I think there was a Chester and a Festus in TV too, I believe. Seha says, I was a Bonanza Jit Gunsmoke, but okay, don't mess with Haas. Yeah, I like Gunsmoke a lot. I really like Gunsmoke, and I really like Bonanza. I liked Gunsmoke and Bonanza, and I liked, was it like Eldorado? Was it Eldorado? Or no, High Chaparral. I like High Chaparral a lot too. And then they used to always play reruns of like The Rifleman on like Channel 5 where we lived. I was like The Rifleman with Chuck Connors, and and they would show that he had that Winchester, and he would like do the thing, I like it. Brendan Fraser, Donna O. Yes, Brendan Fraser, very good pull with the vague clues I gave. Yeah, what show was that? That they were, and he was like the Tin Man monster. He was like a, basically the Tin Man. Big Cook says third season just ended for Resident Alien BC production. Of course it is. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out though. Mr. Fluck, Unforgiven is really a good Western. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It was good. Unforgiven, but there's others that I like better. But you know, it won a lot of Academy Awards. I remember that. Fancy, The Good, Bad, and Ugly is a good movie. The Bad Guy is bad. Laughing out loud. I like that movie. I like the spaghetti westerns. I like the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. They're really, really good. Sehal says, Alvin Stu, but Wagon Train, they were always wagon training and never got anywhere. It's like, boy, this is a long ass road here. Big Hook, do you like Justified? You know what? I've never watched it, and I love Timothy Olyphant, and I love Walton Goggins, right? They're the two mains, I think, in it. And I've never watched an episode. How does that happen? It's one of those shows I just missed. But the beautiful thing about it is I could probably find it and probably go back and watch it. But I never watched it. Mr. Spock says, there was a Chinese restaurant named Hop Sing. I always laughed when I drove by. Never ate there. Karen Bass is here. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Mayor Bass? No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm taking a fun break from spring cleaning. Well, sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to just take a break. Price Reader says, my husband liked to have Gun Will Travel. I like that show too. Also, Gunsmoke and Bonanza and Rawhide. Have Gun Will Travel. Wasn't that the one where they would kind of split the lead? Like I think wasn't James Garner? Was James Garner in it? But then sometimes it was the other guy. Was like Anthony Quinn or something, or what was that guy's name? Or am I thinking of a different show? And I think. What was the one Steve McQueen was in? Was he in Have Gun Will Travel? Steve McQueen had a show too. And I remember those. And I remember seeing them. Basically, those were playing in reruns when I was a kid. And because I think they were black and white, and they would be on like Channel 5 or something. You'd watch them. Midas Kevin says, imagine if you will, John, they say when you wake up with sand in your eyes, oh, you met the Sandman. What if you actually did? Oh, that's the Sandman. Oh, I saw the Sandman. I did see the Sandman. Yeah. It's the guy, and then there's the girl, and they're like, aren't they like brothers and sister? Or kind of like. And then didn't he like go to hell to do something to get her? And then they're all related somehow. He's got magical powers. Oh yeah, and he wears all black, right? And he could like stop time or something. I think I saw that. I did see that. That was a great summation, wasn't it? I really summed that up really great. Yeah, but it was so. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I think that I saw that. But Karen Bass says, I never really got into the westerns, but I absolutely love the horses. Three Girls for Real says, let's go way back. Anyone remembers Sugarfoot? He was a pacifist, didn't carry a gun, and drank sassafras instead of beer. It was a western. I do not. I mean, was he just a character? Or did he have his own show? Because I can see that being a character, but I can't see that being like the whole show. Sehal says, Big Hook, I'd have to argue that John Wayne, El Dorado, Big Jake, oh my God, he was a legend. I love I love me John Wayne movies. I know John Wayne has taken a lot of heat, and you can say, you know, they don't like him because he was an old Hollywood Republican, kind of like Ronald Reagan or something. Blah blah blah, la di da, and you know, a lot of haters out there because the way Westerns depicted. But I don't give a fuck. I like John Wayne. I love John Wayne. I think El Dorado, right? Is El Dorado? That was the one with James Caan, right? Wasn't that the one? And there was two movies, right? What was it? Was it Rio Bravo? What were the two movies that were almost like identical in a way? Like one of them had, and I thought it was always kind of funny how they're so identical. Where John Wayne's like the marshal or whatever, and he's at the end of the town, and the bad guys are coming in. And one of them was like him, and it was like Dean Martin played like the old drunk, but he was like really good with a gun, and he's got to get dried up and get, you know, to help out. And then there's another one where I think it was Robert Mitchum played the old dried up drunk and John Wayne. You know, these two movies are almost identical, but I love both of them anyhow. Big Hook says The Mandalorian is a gunslinger sci-fi crossover. Yeah, I watched the first couple. How many seasons of that? Because I think I fell off on that too. I think I watched the first couple. The last one I saw, and here's a spoiler, is when Luke Skywalker showed up. So whatever season that was, have they done more seasons since then? I kind of fell out of that too. But I can get caught up. I still have Disney Plus or whatever. Sehal says 2 Mules for Sister Sarah was awesome. I love that movie. I love all those old Clint Eastwood westerns. Yeah, 2 Mules for Sister Sarah, and what was the one? I remember they filmed it in Big Bear when we lived in Big Bear. It was with, I think, Lee Marvin. Was Lee Marvin in that? And maybe I'm thinking of a different movie, not even Clint Eastwood. Maybe I'm thinking of Warren Beatty made a movie in Big Bear, maybe. A whole, completely different thing. But I think Clint Eastwood did too. And I can't remember the name of it, but I remember it was really good. Mr. Spock, a pilot series named Dusty's Trail. It was basically Gilligan's Island, only the Wild West. Lost on the Trail, even some of the same story plots. Starred Bob Denver, quite humorous. I don't remember that one. Branded, WW said Branded. I remember Branded. Yeah. That was that Chuck Connors too? I think, wasn't that Chuck Connors also? Because he did Rifleman. And then Branded was good. I remember that show. Wanted Dead or Alive was Steve McQueen. Yeah, Alvin Stube. Wanted Dead or Alive was Steve McQueen. And he had a cool gun too. Remember, it wasn't like a sawed-off shotgun or something? I like that show. That was a good one. But the Have Gun Will Travel, I think, was James Garner. But and then sometimes it was the other dude. Like, I don't think they ever did shows together. It was like, you know, they kind of would take turns on the lead character there. Maverick was Garner. Oh yeah, Garner did Maverick. Oh wait, yeah, I know he did Maverick. But I think he did the other one too. Maybe not. 3 Girls, 3 Girls says the show was called Sugarfoot. It was a series. Yeah, I never heard of that. Is that the one with Bob Denver or whatever? With Gilligan? Was it Big Hook was just talking about, or whoever? Or Mr. Spock, I guess, was talking about it. W says, my dad liked the one where John Wayne spanked his wife with a hairbrush. Okay, that was a movie, not a TV series. I believe that was a movie. That might have been that one about Katie Elders or something like that, or Fancy Bad Dad. I don't know that one. Big Hook. Wayne was not regarded as a family man. Okay, whatever. Mr. Spock left now. Instantly think of a plot parody for Dusty Smith. It writes itself. I don't know who Dusty Smith is. You guys have talked about him. I still don't know who that is. Minus Kevin 3 so far. I don't know what that is. Oh, 3 seasons. Okay, because I must have been talking about something. So, is it Mandalorian? 3 seasons. So I don't think did I. I'm not sure if I saw all 3 seasons or not. Pisces Greeter says the husband liked Maverick too with James Garner. I felt he was handsome when he was young. He was handsome when he was old too. Oh, McClintock, Roxanne. That's McClintock, the John Wayne movie where he was spanking his wife. Big Hook, Lee Marvin, James Garner rocks, says Mr. Spock. Oh, that rhymed, kind of. Seha says, Roxanne Armfield, another good one there are Endless Spaghetti Westerns with John Wayne, the man who shot Liberty Valance. That wasn't a spaghetti western, I don't think, though. The man who shot Liberty Valance. I don't think John Wayne did any spaghetti westerns. Walter Makarovich, High Plains Drifter. That was an excellent movie. High Plains Drifter, that was one of Clint Eastwood's best. I mean, Outlaw Josie Wells, I think #1 for Clint. High Plains Drifter is right up there. That was a great, great western. Richard Boone, Have Gun Will Travel. Yes, Richard Boone, Roxanne, you're correct. That's who I was thinking of. But I thought that they switched off with lead actors on that one. And I thought it was James Garner, but I guess maybe I'm just confusing things. Fancy the Shakiest Gun in the West, Don Knotts, right? That was a movie. I remember that movie. And as a little kid, I loved it. If I watched it now, I probably wouldn't love it so much because it might just be too goofy. But I remember I loved it as a kid because I liked Don Knotts. I loved, Andy Griffith show with Don Knotts and everything. Midas Kevin says Marvin was also the man who shot Liberty Valance. Yes, he was that, and he was also in another great show, movie Cat Ballou, right? Did you guys ever see that? That was a really awesome movie with Jane Fonda, and then Lee Marvin, and then whoever the leads were. That was like 2 or 3 other dudes, and they all kind of had the hots for Jane Fonda, right? That was a really good one. So check that out. Pisces Greeter says James Garner also did the movie Support Your Local Sheriff. Yes, they did Support Your Local Sheriff and Support Your Local Gunfighter. Those are movies, and I love those movies too. And it had like Cleavon Little was in one of them, right? And this is all before, or maybe around the same time as the Mel Brooks one. Big Hook, The Dirty Dozen with Charles Bronson, The Great Escape, had a lot of everyone's favorite. Yeah, the Dirty Dozen and The Great Escape, 2 great movies. James Garner was in The Great Escape along with Steve McQueen and all those guys, Bronson. And The Dirty Dozen, Lee Marvin was like, the sergeant or whatever he was. And he had a great cast in it. I remember my favorite scene was when James Brown, and it was a heartbreaking scene, and here's a spoiler, I guess. But, when James Brown, he was NFL running back, Hall of Fame running back, and he was in this movie, and where he's running, and he's only got, a certain amount of time, and he's throwing these hand grenades down into the air shafts, and then I won't spoil the rest of it. But I remember that scene that really, I was probably, when I saw that, I was probably, I don't know, 8 years old or whatever. But I remember just being like spellbound in that scene, Don Knotts, Fancy, laughing my ass off. Let's see. Pisces Greer says, Roxanne Arfield, you're right. It was Richard Boone, Have Gun Will Travel. Well, I knew, that's who I was picturing. I just couldn't remember his name. So I knew it was Richard Boone, but I'm pretty sure they had 2 different leads that would go back and forth. If someone could solve that little mystery for me, that would be great. Mr. Spock says James Gardner beat out William Shatner for Best Hood Slide Emmy in 1977. Did James Garner do the hood slide? I remember like Shatner did it in T.J. Hooker, I think, right? And didn't Starsky and Hutch? They did hood slides. I don't remember James Garner doing a hood slide though. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying I don't remember that. Julie says, never been into westerns except Firefly, space western. Firefly was a great show, and it got ended way too soon. You know, they could have done a few more years on that. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I guess it didn't have enough ratings, and then it became, you know, sort of a cult favorite, I guess they call it. But, you know, that one scene where the girl, I forget her name, when she goes into that, like, bar, and she's like kicks everybody's fucking ass. Just that alone made the whole series worth it. And they should have done like 3 more years of that, you know. Pice Reader says, sorry, I like John Wayne and prefer John Wayne over Clint Eastwood. Well, I'm not doing one or the other. I like them both. And they're different kind of styles and everything. But I think I love both of them. That was Maverick. I know James Garner was Maverick. But in Have Gun Will Travel, Richard Boone wasn't always the main guy. So someone else, they split it with somebody else. Sometimes it was Richard Boone, and sometimes it was blah-de-da-de-da. I was thinking James Garner, but maybe it's not James Garner. Maybe it was somebody else who kind of looked at him like James Garner. I think Two Mules for Sister Sarah was his best. It's a great movie. It is so great. I mean, it's so funny, like, with, what's her face? Warren Beatty's sister played the Sister Sarah. It's kind of hilarious. Say House says, John Wayne had hundreds of Western flicks before he ever made a movie. Wait, John Wayne had hundreds of Western flicks before he ever made a movie. What's a Western flick? I thought a Western flick was a movie. So I don't understand that comment. Donna O says, I got to work on a movie with Bill McKinney and talk to him about Outlaw Josie Wells. He was awesome. Oh, Bill McKinney was the bad guy. He always played bad guys, usually. Kind of that blonde, greasy-haired guy. Was really good at playing the bad guys. Wasn't he in Deliverance, amongst others? Yeah, that would be awesome to be able to talk to him. Big Hook. Redford had that Trapper movie which showed wilderness survival. That was, I love that movie too. That was a great movie. God damn it, why do I forget? I saw that movie. Yeah, that was a great movie. God damn it. It was just like the title was like the name of the character. It was something like, I can't remember. God damn it, I hate when I can't remember shit. Mr. Spock says, William Shatner won it all 3 years in a row, 74 to 76. It was a big deal at the time. So that was a real thing. I thought you were just making that up, Mr. Spock. Three Girls, Three Wheels, there's always Blazing Saddles. That's what I was trying to think of Blazing Saddles earlier with Cleavon Little. Around the time I started getting blazed. I remember that movie was just hilarious too. I don't give a fuck about they use the N-word. It's funny. You know, it's in context, it's funny, and it's about pointing out how racist fucking people were and are still. WW says, in and out, one of the posts had been repaired with the ton of concrete, the rest are more regular. Oh, okay, so we're talking about the fence. Good luck on the fence there. Hope that gets done. Good. Let's see. I'm just sort of skipping along because I'm really behind in the chat here. It's kind of fun talking about these old movies. I like this. Big Hook, my hubby. This is from Pisces Greeter. Says Big Hook, my hubby. Like Robert Redford and Paul Newman. A few movies, Sting, Butch Cassidy. Those were 2 great movies. I love both those movies. I love the Sting and the Butch Cassidy Son as Kid. Great movie. Awesome movie. Big Hook, the Duke brothers were the Hood Slide Kings. The Duke brothers. Oh, that's from whatchamacallit. Vice Reader, I agree. John Wayne, Clint Eastwood movies were different, but I love both of them. Garner was more, this is W, was more high strung and fun. Alvin says, no, that was Maverick with 2 actors. Maverick had 2 actors. Oh, so Have a Government Travel was Richard Boone. Let's get this straight. And that was it. It was just Richard Boone. But Maverick had 2 actors. So James Garner, and then sometimes it was some other dude. And I can't remember who the other dude was. Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, that was the Bo and Luke thing that you're talking about. Say Hell says, I like Clint Eastwood's new stuff. Gran Torino, Old Farts, and Space Lemon. Yeah, new stuff. And those are like 20 years old. But yeah, those were good. Those are good movies. Big Cool Hand Luke. It's not a Western, but great movie. Paul Newman and what's his face? The big dude, Ed something. What was his name? Great movie. Cool Hand Luke is one of the all-time greats. Classic movie. Great. Classic Paul Newman. WW says, I had plays in high school, college, and summer theater. Never did a movie. Pisces Greeter says, Jeremiah Johnson. That's it. Baby Rubber River movie. Husband liked it. Yes, Pisces Greeter. Jeremiah Johnson. That was an awesome movie. I love that movie. Donna O says, the Toothless Man in Deliverance was one of my dad's best friends. Cowboy Coward. Wow. Roxanne Armfield says, Jack Kelly and James Garner were in Maverick. Later in series, Roger Moore played long lost cousin. Wow. So Jack Kelly was the other guy in Maverick? I'm not even sure if I can place Jack Kelly's face. And why did they do it like that? Why wasn't it just James Garner every week? Because it seems like they were never in the same shows together. It seemed like it was like, you one night, you know. Anyhow, Say How says, couldn't make Blazing Saddles today. It would be rated X. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think it'd be rated X, but it would probably get a lot of heat because a lot of people don't understand, you know, context. You know, and they could make a, you know, Boys in the Hood with the N-word all over the place, but Mel Brooks couldn't make a comedy with the N-word in it without getting, you know, roasted. Probably. W says, good friend's dad, best friend was Gene Hackman. Oh, I love Gene Hackman. He's great. Great actor. Fancy says, Tombstone is an awesome movie. Yes, I love Tombstone. I love both of those Wyatt Earp movies that came out, I think, the same year. One was Kurt Russell and the other one was Costner. And I love both of them. I think I love the Kurt Russell one better, though, because Kurt Russell just embodies Wyatt Earp, you know? I mean, he becomes Wyatt Earp. Robin M. says, Fistful of Dollars, Django Unchained, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Robin M., by the way, thanks for being here. I think that's the first time I've seen you today, so thanks for stopping by. Fistful of Dollars, that's a Clint Eastwood spaghetti western. Great movie. Great movie. Django Unchained and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Django Unchained, of course, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, those are both Tarantino films. One's a western, one is not, of course. But both, I love anything Tarantino, as you guys know. I love Tarantino. A lot of you guys don't like Tarantino for some reason. Great filmmaker. I think those are great films. I love them. Philly 3000 says, White Buffalo, Charles Bronson was in Western. Yeah, I remember that White Buffalo. It's been a long time since I've watched it. So it's hard for me to say if I loved it. I think I liked it. I think it was a good movie, but I don't think I've seen that movie in 40 years or longer, maybe. But I remember that one. Let's see. Messersbach, what we have here is a failure to communicate. That is from Cool Hand Luke, one of the great, dialogue from, I believe, Strother Martin. Was it Strother Martin who played that? The warden? What we have here is a failure to communicate. It was like, now he don't want to listen, or whatever it is. I forget it's a great scene. That's a great scene. And oh God, it was a sad movie too. I hated the part. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a certain part in the movie that I remember seeing it with my parents in the theater. I think I was like a little kid, and I think I cried. So anyhow, I'm not going to spoil it. Price Greer says, I was a Gary Cooper, James Stewart, James Cagney, fan. All of those names are all way before my time, kind of thing. And I would see the movies like on TV that would, this is before VHS. This is before, of course, any streaming. So the only way you could see like old movies is on TV, and they would play these old movies on TV. So I know, of course, I know Gary Cooper. He's a legend. James Stewart, of course, another legend. Cagney, they're all legends. And I think I would watch their movies like on TV and like, in the 60s or something. And these would be movies that were from the 40s and 50s. And I liked them. I liked all those guys. Big Hook says Mel Gibson did Maverick as well before he went apeshit crazy. Yeah, that was a movie. He did the movie version of Maverick, and I thought he did really good. And James Garner showed up in that movie, right? So I think he played his dad, right? Spoiler alert. That's not too bad of a spoiler alert, but that's not too bad of a spoiler. But I like those movies, and Jodie Gibson was in it, right? Yeah, right. Roxanne says satire is hard, talking about Blazing Saddles, yeah. Walter Makarovich, I heard they're making a remake of Bad Girls with Margie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Noam, except it won't be a Western, but a true life comedy. That's funny, Walter. WW says Mel Brooks got away with a lot. He was very powerful in Hollywood, and also very funny and talented. That helped. That goes into it also. That's how he became powerful, because of his talent, and he's so funny. Made some very, very funny movies, and sold a lot of tickets, and made a lot of money for Hollywood. That's how he got powerful. Pice Reader says, Big Hook, back to my hubby. He likes Mel Gibson, and some of his movies, me not so much. I love Mel Gibson. I love his movies. So the guy turned out to be an asshole. So that makes me not really want to watch him as much. But still, that doesn't take away from the fact that I like the Mad Max movies. I like the Lethal Weapon movies. I love Braveheart. It does taint it now. Now we see that he's this kind of raving maniac kind of guy, and he's seems like be anti-Semitic and misogynist. I can't say that word. I guess, and so it does taint it. Like, right when you see a movie, it kind of makes you not like. I'll go back and watch a Clint Eastwood movie any day of the week, but I guess I really don't go back and watch any of the Mel Gibson movies. Although I did watch a few years ago that Santa Claus movie he made, which I thought was really good, and I watched it. But yeah, there's always this sort of, he's tainted it. He's ruined his reputation, so it makes you not want to watch him, even though you still might enjoy a movie of his, but you're like, I really don't want to give the guy any of my indirectly, money if I'm paying for a movie ticket or if I'm paying for a streaming service or whatever. I really don't want to give that guy or just a view. So yeah, he ruined it. He kind of ruined things for himself, and I don't know if he's ever gone. I don't think he's done any type of apology tour or anything like that. I think he just kind of said fuck it. I don't know. Big Hook. Tarantino's saying one last film, then he retires to do family. Yeah, that's what he's been saying for a long time. So, I'm gonna miss him. It's his life to do what he wants to do. W says, I like Tarantino, just the people flying around when they are fake fighting. Just not the people flying around. Are you talking about Kill Bill when they're that was sort of homage to martial arts films, and that's what they do in a lot of the martial arts films. They do a lot of wire work. If you know anything about Tarantino, his films are really about homage to other genres and now I can't say genre right, and to films and things that he was watching as a kid growing up. And so if you're talking about like the Kill Bill movies, that was kind of homage to that, because there's a lot of if you watch a lot of the Asian martial arts movies, that's what they do. They do a lot of wire work where they're flying around. So that's what that's about. So anyhow, Robin M says, "Did you see Westworld, the TV show?" Yeah, I did, and I liked it, but it just got too crazy. It was just like, okay, everybody's a fucking robot, I guess. I mean, I think they just went. I think that John Nolan, I think isn't that what's the say Nolan's brother, and I guess these guys are all into making puzzles, making movies that are puzzles and really tricky, and I think they're just too cute by half. You know what I mean? I like a little more straightforward. I don't like all these riddles and clues, and then things just keep circling on themselves, and then it becomes, oh, okay, everyone's a fucking robot, I guess. Is everyone a robot? Okay, anyhow. Spoiler alert. Philly 3000 says, I got to sit next to Mel Brooks in 79. He was doing a Ford Special Automotive. My uncle was giving out the award, and I was on the set. That's how I got to sit next to him. Well, that's pretty cool. Mr. Spock says, Gene Hackman is retired. Yeah, because he's like in his 90s now. He hasn't been in anything for years. At one time, he was a prolific actor. Yes, of course. But he's almost 100 years old. Of course he's not doing anything. Say how says, Trucker John, okay, took me a minute to fire back about your John Wayne, hundreds of Western flicks before he made a movie. By your definition, a Tom and Jerry cartoon is a movie. Did I ever lay down a definition? Did I ever say anything? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I have no idea what you're fucking talking about. He did hundreds of Western flicks. To me, a flick is a movie. Okay? A flick is a movie. I don't know what you're talking about, Tom and Jerry. I have no idea what you're talking about. Robin Hill, Apocalypto, that was another great movie. That was his follow-up or his next big movie after Braveheart, right? And Apocalypto was an excellent movie. Mr. Spock, Gallipoli, yeah, it was a good early Mel Gibson movie, yeah. Big Hook, say masochistic. Yeah, I can't even say that. Vice Reader says Gene Hackman was 94. See, I told you, he's old. He's been, yeah, of course he doesn't make movies anymore. Say how says Trigger John, John Wayne started out doing 10 to 20 minute Western stunt clips. Okay, fine. I don't even know why. I don't even know how you even got onto that subject. I don't even know where you're going with this. All I said was I like John Wayne movies. So I don't know how you went down that road. Big Hook Escape from Alcatraz. That was a good movie. You can name every Clint Eastwood movie, and it's going to be a good movie. WW Homage. I like Kill Bills, just not the stupid fight scenes. Well, then you're stupid. W says, no, it's not too fake. Just, you're just stupid. Big Hook Papillon, another great movie with Dustin Hoffman and Steve McQueen. Karen Bass, I almost tried saying that 3 times. Yeah, I couldn't even say it once. Philly 2000, my dad was going to take me on the set of Little House on the Prairie, but the same week they canceled the show. I was like, damn it. Wow, the timing was just a little off on that one. Roxanne says, Bite the Bullet is a great Hackman movie. I don't think I remember that one, Bite the Bullet. I saw a lot of Gene Hackman movies in my day. I don't remember Bite the Bullet. The Patriot was really good too. Yeah, that was Pisces Reader. I mean, no, Pisces. Why did I say Pisces Reader? Fancy. I guess because it has the little ribbons. And I think, does Pisces Reader have that also? Let's see, let me go back. Oh no, Pisces Reader doesn't have any ribbons. But anyhow, Fancy says The Patriot. Yeah, Patriot was a great movie. I like that movie. There was some good fighting scenes in that movie. But although whenever Mel Gibson tried to cry, I thought his crying, WW, you might agree with me on this, maybe? That Mel Gibson's crying was horrible. I'll give you that one. If you want to say, that was pretty fake. Some pretty fake, terrible crying. Where he would just sort of close his eyes, and no tears would come out, And he would sort of he'd try to do a lip quibble, like, but it was just, that was the most horrible crying I've ever seen any actor do. So if you want to complain about that, I'll agree with you on that. Philly 2000, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, yes, with a very young Jeff Bridges. Of course, Clint Eastwood, that's a great movie. I love that movie too. Alvin Stube, Little Big Man, yes, with Dustin Hoffman. Great movie. That's one of the all-time greats. Denise Wilkins is here. Good morning, Joker John. Good morning, chat. I had a sleepless night. Oh, well, groggy right now. Well, I hate those sleepless nights, so I hope you can, get a better night's sleep tonight, or maybe take a nap today. But then that kind of gets your whole cycle kind of off, Big Michael Landon was an icon back in the day. Well, he was a big TV star more than anything. He went from Bonanza to like The Hulk to Little House on the Prairie, probably some other shows. He was a huge TV star for sure. Okay, so y'all says, Trucker John, I ain't mad, bro. I'm just saying John Wayne started out doing stunt shorts long before he made a movie. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, thank you for, but I never challenged that. I mean, you were acting like I was disagreeing or whatever. Yeah, I know. He was a football player at USC, and his name was some girly name, right? And he changed it to John Wayne. If we want to talk about John Wayne, but yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, he did stunt work and all that kind of shit. But okay, I still think I like his movies. I like his westerns. I think he made some really great westerns, and he became this iconic character. Like, he was John Wayne. He was pretty much the John Wayne character in almost all of his movies. Some of his later movies, he actually branched out and did a little more acting, or not that he wasn't acting, but he wasn't just playing kind of that same kind of character over and over again. But he was really great. I mean, The Searchers, that was a great one. True Grit, all that. Great movies. Philly 3000, do you remember Vanishing Point? I do remember Vanishing Point. Wasn't that Peter Fonda? Was that Vanishing Point? Or am I thinking of a different? I think I'm thinking of that one, like Peter Fonda one. I'm thinking of they had the white, wasn't it? Because I think Vanishing Point, had a white Challenger, and I think the Peter Fonda one I'm thinking of was like something about Linda and Larry or something, right? And they had I think a white Challenger. Maybe it was a Barracuda. I don't know. And I remember they were a lot of car chases in between walnut trees, I believe, in the Central Valley of California. I think is where that took place. And they were beating the train. Okay, that's the Peter Fonda one. I don't think that's Vanishing Point. Vanishing Point, I do remember, but I don't remember who the star was, and but I think it had a fast car, white Challenger, and I think that was the car that Tarantino was sort of basing his story on when he did the that Grindhouse movie with Robert Rodriguez where they did like those grindhouse things. Anyhow, I do kind of remember that, but I'm kind of mixing it up with other things, I think. Denise says, Jolie, morning. Yeah, big, a Rittenhouse cry. Yes, exactly. WWI used to be able to cry realistically at the drop of a hat. You missed your calling. You should have been doing cry scenes in the movies. Pice Greeter says, back to my hubby. He likes Keanu Reeves. I like Keanu Reeves. And I love the John Wick movies. Although I do think John Wick kind of has gone too far. Like, I like the first one. It's their basic kind of like revenge story. It's your basic kind of like, you know, underdog or, you know, it's almost like a Die Hard where you don't know who this guy is. You just think he's like a nobody, but then he ends up being this really awesome fighter or whatever. And he goes and wipes out the gang, you know. I like that story. And then each sequel has gotten, I think, way more over the top. But I still go back and see it because I do enjoy the action. I do enjoy the gun fu. But, you know, it just gets so over the top. Same way with Die Hard. I love Die Hard, the first one. And then each one of those sequels got more and more ridiculous. So there's that. Mr. Spock's Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, it was a good movie. Not a Western, but a good movie. With Warren Beatty. I like that movie. So back to Pice Greeter. I didn't finish. So yeah, Keanu Reeves and some of his movies, good actor. He likes John Wick movies. I also like Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I like him. And he seems to be a good guy, and by all reports, he seems to be a pretty solid dude, you know, in real life. Like not a douchebag or anything. Eric Hippie, John Wayne maybe did some nude still pics to start out. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Is Terry Taylor here? Terry Taylor, hello. Oh, there's Terry Taylor. Hello to Terry Taylor. Good to see you. What's your favorite Western, Terry Taylor? Do you have a favorite Western? Robin M., John Wayne, and Ronald. Yeah, of course they were friends. They were these old Republicans. And at the time, actually, I mean, Ronald Reagan was a Democrat, or at one time anyhow, and then he switched over. Terry Taylor, hey, you missed me. Yeah, I did. So hello, Terry. Good to see you. Sorry, I skipped over you. Roxanne says John Wayne's name was Marion Morris. Yeah, there it was. A girly name. And so he changed it to John Wayne. Mr. Black, Marion was John Wayne's real first name. Nancy Reagan was good friends with Frank Sinatra. That's why Ronnie Jr. can't do 23andMe. Oh, that's funny, WW. Say hello, the Hellfighters. Yeah, the Hellfighters. That was, you know, he did the Hellfighters, and then he did like the Green Berets, which were, you know, so he broke away from the Western for, you know, a couple films here and there. Later on, he did where he was a modern day cop, like one of his last films, right? Instead of being the old Western. Philly 3000 says Barry Newman was the guy in the movie A Girl Named Victoria something. I don't know that one. Big Hook says Flashpoint with Chris Christopherson. That sounds familiar. I probably saw that, but I don't recall it right now. Say how Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah, he was in that. Wasn't that Russell Crowe too, I think? That's all pre what you call it? Matrix. Karen Bass, I'm a big John Wick fan. All right, so we got some John Wick fans in the house. Fancy likes John Wick too. WW says lots of John Wick jokes about dead dogs right now. Oh yeah, with the Christy Nome thing. Terry Taylor, anything Clint Eastwood? Yeah, we've been talking a lot about Clint today, and like I said, I don't think, I really don't think there's a bad movie, Western or not. Now there's some that are better than others. Some are great classics or whatever, but I don't think there's a bad Clint Eastwood movie. I can't think of a bad Clint Eastwood movie. Sehel says Priest was the end all. Priest was the end all of be all gun foof movies. Priest. That sounds familiar. I'm trying to think if I saw that or not. I probably did because it sounds familiar, but I just don't remember it. Philly 3000 says John Wick. He was in Bill and Ted Adventure Laughing Out Loud. Yeah, that's right. Well, Keanu Reeves was. Harry KP TJ censoring me. Did I censor you, Harry KP? Oh, you know what? I have it on top. No wonder. I probably missed a whole bunch of you guys' things. I didn't have it on all messages. I committed the cardinal sin, didn't I? Wow. I probably... That's why I've been somewhat caught up in the chat. So I don't know. But I don't know what you're talking about censoring you. But maybe I didn't see it because I had it on top chat. I didn't have it on all chat. Thank you, Fancy. Yeah, I did a little sneezy. A little sneezy. Mr. Spock, The Magnificent Seven was a remake of The Seven Samurai. Yeah, I guess you could call it a remake, or you could call it I don't know if you call it a remake, but it was definitely the Western version of it. WW, the early ones, spaghetti westerns, good music, dumb plots. I don't care. I still think they're great movies. And I don't think they're dumb plots. Harry KP, one more sneeze for a more. Let it go. Let it go, let it go. Let it go. So Vicky Accardi's here. I think if I didn't see you because I had it on top chat, and I guess it skipped over you. Big Hook says Kimmel did the best with Known last night. She had Cricket's head mounted like a trophy. Oh boy. Terry Taylor, loves Keanu Reeves. And Robin M, I like Kung Fu, the Shaolin Monk Western. I did too, Robin M, with David Carradine. I really liked the show. I did like that show. Yeah. Shaolin, yeah. I remember watching that as a kid too. Fancy Nacho Libre with what, Jack Black, right? That was a funny movie. I like Jack Black movies. They're pretty funny. Karen Bass said, I didn't know there was a difference. I guess I've missed a lot as well. Oh yeah, if you have it on your chat, there you can have there's a little sort of a gear thing that's for your settings, and you can go. There's a thing just called Top Chat, and apparently I don't know how YouTube determines it, but it doesn't put all the chats in there. So if you want to see every single chat that's posted, you have to go to all chat. Otherwise, you could miss things. So that's why some people will say, "Hey, you deleted my comment, or you didn't see my comment, or whatever." It's because probably you're in top chat instead of all chat. So if you want to make sure you're seeing all the chats that are posted, make sure that you have it set for all chat. And I didn't do that. Usually I do. I don't know why I didn't do that. I just forgot to, because you have to go in and manually change this. That's all chat is not the default. I guess top chat is the default setting. Vicky Cardi said, I said Wagon Train was my fave. Okay. And then I remember, was it Seha or Big Hook? Somebody was saying but on Wagon Train, they just kept going along and never getting anywhere or something. I remember watching Wagon Train a few times. It Good TV show. Did John Carpenter's The Thing scare you? You know what? I remember watching that when it came out, and for whatever reason, it just didn't do anything for me. I know it's a really, it's become sort of a cult classic or whatever, but I just never really, I don't know, it just didn't really do anything for me. Fancy, go to live chat. No, it's on live chat, but you have two things. No, you go to the little thing. It looks like a gear, and then there's a chat filter. So you click on chat filter, and then you can choose between top messages and all messages. It's automatically in live chat. You don't have to do anything to that if you're watching as right now when it's live. Now, if there's a replay, if you want to go to live chat replay, then you have to sort of like swipe the chat thing like to the left. Otherwise, it'll just be, if you make comments, it'll just make comments separately. And you can't make comments on the chat replay. If you swipe and go to chat replay, you can just watch the comments as they came in during during the live broadcast or whatever you call it. But if you want to make comments, then you have to slide back to the right, and then you can make comments, but those are separate because they're not during. Those were comments made after the live stream was over. Anyhow, Harry KP, hey, you lost my pants. Hey Harry, I don't know what you're talking about losing your pants. Fancy said the first time Big Hook, it scared the heck out of me. Oh, about the Thing. That movie was from the 70s, wasn't it? It's so long ago. I know it's Kurt Russell, right? And they were in the Arctic Circle or something, and but I don't know. Just no real thoughts about it, really. Vicky Carter, yes, their travels were fruitless. Denise Wilkins, TJ, did you get into Game of Thrones? Yeah, I did. I liked it. And we were talking about that earlier about the prequel and how I watched part of the first season and I thought it was really good and everything. And I liked the performance of Paddy Considine, who played the king. Thought he was really great. But I just kind of got tired of it. It's just all this, first cousins fucking each other all the time. And I don't know, I just got kind of old. Mr. Spock, The Blind Swordsman was good. Vintage Japanese films. My favorite scene is the blind swordsman holds a baby off a balcony to pee. The assassins below comment, it must be going to rain. That's hilarious. Philly 3000, how about the McCoys that guy used to limp and nobody mentioned Ponderosa? The McCoys. Was that a TV show? I don't remember that one. Fancy John, it is Top Chat or Live Chat? No, it is Top Chat. No. At least on my device, it is Top Chat. It's Top Messages or All Messages. It's automatically in live chat right now. When this is over with and it posts back up, and you can do a live chat, and it's live chat replay, then you choose between where you can just make comments or you can watch the live chat replay. But right now, it's already in live chat. It's automatically in live chat. And you can filter it. You have a choice between top messages and all messages. The Real McCoys, Vicky Carter says, The Real McCoys. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that, but I don't remember it. Hey, Tuber Chat, connecting to a word up. Hey, Tuber Chat. Tuber Chat's here. Good to see you. Shared on Reddit. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. And thumbs up. Appreciate the thumbs ups. I haven't said that in a while. I've been yapping. But thanks everybody. We got 30 watch and 38 thumbs ups. Can we get to 40 thumbs ups? That would be awesome. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And I want to thank Tuber Chat for doing that. That's pretty awesome. And Jolie reminds us of that also, about the super chats, and we got buy me a coffee and all that. Thanks, Jolie, for putting that up there. Jolie says, hi, Tuber Chat, connect and grow. Denise Wilkins, yes, that could get old, fucking your cousin, laughing out loud. Well, it just seems like that's all they were doing after a while. It was like, it's like, okay, enough. We know that they were all like interbreeding or whatever, just to keep the royal blood, and I think we get it. I don't know. There was just something about it that just it got old to me. But it was a good show. It was still a good show, But I just at some point I kind of just stopped watching it. But I think that was the whole thing when I was getting out of the truck, going from being on the road, and I was sort of transitioning into not being on the road, and I was kind of living in my truck for a while, and I kind of, a lot of things kind of got, where I kind of stopped watching some shows, and I just never picked it back up again. Janelle Walker, hey, truckers, or trucklers. We used to call everybody trucklers, but now I don't know, I guess we're just all truckers now. Fancy says, mine is top chat or live chat, laughing out loud. Well, it's on live chat. It just automatically goes to live chat. And then you can filter it between top chat, between top messages and all messages. Fancy says, mine is automatically in top chat. I have to pick live chat. Yeah, like I said, the default setting is top chat. Jolie says, mine is too, Fancy. On my computer, on my phone, it's messages. Okay. Fancy says, strange how different on different devices. Yeah, I guess it could be a little different on different devices. WW, we're all cousins. Fancy says, they were interbreeding, that's why they were crazy as fuck. Yeah. Fully 3000, I used to love The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Oh yeah, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I used to watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yeah, for sure. It was a great show. It was the guy, the main star, God, what was his name? But he was in that The Magnificent Seven. I liked him. And then the blonde guy was, I liked that guy. He was like this European dude. Yeah, it was a great show. Big Hook, Green Acres is the place to be. Yeah, I remember watching that. WW, you miss a lot if you only read top chat. Don't understand the formula. Yeah, well, I don't know why either. I mean, and I think all chat should be the default setting. And if you want to go to top chat, you could go to top chat. But they do it the opposite. WW Pinnacle Junction. David McCallum, yes, W. That was the blonde guy. And then I don't know. I think he's still alive. Maybe he's recently passed. I don't know. But he was still doing like Criminal Minds or something, wasn't he? So he's the other guy. I think is dead. The main guy with the dark hair. I forget his name. But McCallum, he was working as late as just a few years ago. And so and the Man from U.N.C.L.E. is from the 60s. Is my point. Is that was many years ago. I think he was still doing. Wasn't it like Criminal Minds or one of those shows, one of those procedurals, as they call it, as the kids like to call it. And I think he was in that. So that was good to see that he was still working after all these years. Karen Bass says, maybe your settings are different because you're hosting. Well, I don't know, but I know no matter what, whenever I watch a live stream, you have to go to settings, which is the little gear that looks like a gear, and it will automatically be set to top messages. And if you want to see all the messages, you have to click on all messages. And that's whether I'm in my live stream or if I'm watching House Sparks or whoever or Tuber Chat or whoever, you have to do that. The default setting is top messages. And if you want all messages, you have to go into your little gear thing and press all messages. Vicky Accardi says Richard Crenna was in The Real McCoys. Oh, Richard Crenna. He was good, right? Hogan's Heroes? Was he Hogan's Heroes? Remember Hogan's Heroes? That was a good show. That was a funny show. I really liked that one. Let's see. Fancy Get Smart. Yeah, that was funny. I used to watch that. Mr. Spock, Lee Marvin. I don't know why all of a sudden Lee Marvin. We were talking about Lee Marvin about a half hour ago. So maybe Mr. Spock, are you behind? I don't know where Lee Marvin all of a sudden popped in. Philly 3000 says, my dad played Tony on Hill Street Blues, and he played on Mod Squad as a detective. Philly 3000, that's really awesome. Hill Street Blues, I like that show. And Mod Squad, I loved Mod Squad with Link and Pete and the blonde girl. That was one of my favorite shows as a kid growing up. I'm trying to think, Tony on Hill Street Blues. Which one was Tony? God, it's been so long since I watched that show, I can't remember which one was Tony. Now I'm going to have to look that up, Philly 3000. Alvin Stoops says, fancy the first soul phone or shoe phone. NCIS. So David McCallum was on NCIS. Is he still alive? Because, I mean, I remember, I didn't really watch those shows, but I think I watched maybe a few shows in passing or saw clips of it. And he looked fine. He didn't look like he was 100 years old. But, I mean, this Man from U.N.C.L.E. was in the 60s, right? So, like, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I mean, so it's 40 years later. The guy had to be in his 70s or 80s or something. And he looked fine to me. So the guy kept himself in good shape, I guess. Roxanne Armfield says Hill Street Blues was a great show. Hill Street Blues, is that the one like when they would start every day with the guy who was got the bald, kind of the big, kind of like sergeant or whatever, and they would do the briefing, like their daily kind of pep talk briefing thing, right? That was Hill Street Blues, right? And he was the big tall guy. I forget his character name, but he would usually, have all the cops in the precinct would be seated, and he would go, okay, we got a rash of B&Es over here on 3rd Street or whatever, that type of deal. Big Hook. I just like presenting subjects and watching John's emotional reactions. Dance Monkey Dance, or maybe it's the other way around. It's funny because on my Facebook page, on my profile page on Facebook, you could put like your song or whatever, and not your favorite song, but it's sort of like just a song you can just sort of post on there. My song I put is Dance Monkey. Because I feel like I'm everyone's dance monkey. Let's see. Philly 3000. Tony Perez, the movie actor, is my dad. That's awesome, Philly 3000. Tony Perez. Yeah, I'm going to have to look him up. I'm sure I must have seen him. David McCallum, I guess, passed away last year. 90 years old. Wow. And so when he was doing that show, how long ago was that show, NCIS? Because those shows are running forever. That could have been 20 years ago, so he might have been in his 70s then. So that makes sense. Mr. Spock, when Michael Cohen visits Trump in prison, the cone of silence is used. That's funny. Vicky Accardi says, Jolie, New York is where I want to be. Is that like a Green Acres reference, I think? Big Hook. McCallum died September 25th, 2023. So, hey, rest in peace, David McCallum, and Tip of the hat to you, sir, for having a great career and working late in life. Karen Bass, my best friend is planning a trip to New York City this year. That should be fun. It's a good place to visit. You know, lots of things to see. It's a big city, the Big Apple. Go catch a Broadway play if you can. You know, see the Statue of Liberty, see Ground Zero, see, of course, Broadway. Go see Central Park, Tavern on the Green. Go see the Wall Street District there. See all the sights, and a lot of it. When I was there, I just walked all that shit. But there's subways, there's cabs, all kinds of ways to get around. Lots of great things. The Empire State Building. Terry Taylor, Philly 3000 is so cool. Not many people can say their dad is a TV actor. That is true. Karen Bass, my best friend is planning a trip to... Oh, I just read that. I guess because I'd gone back and then I went down. I was up and down and blah, blah, blah. Philly 3000, I have an uncle that was in West Side Story, Eddie Verso. The Jets versus the Sharks. Or whatever. Big Hook. NCIS celebrated their 1,000th episode. Wow. That is crazy. And I've probably seen one episode. I don't even watch those shows. And they are so popular. I don't really get the popularity of them. I mean, I don't know. It's just not my thing, I guess. Tawada 106 is here. Hey, Tawada 106. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Says, New York City people are the most warm and wonderful I've ever met. So much better than in Tokyo. And I'm just wondering if that's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek going on there. Was that a little satire? Although, I'll have to say, when I was there, I had no problems with people. I had no run-ins or anything. And I was kind of funny. I remember walking around, and there was a chauffeur driver, it looked like one of those chauffeur drivers, who was out of his car and he was talking to somebody, and he had this totally like deep New York accent, like one of the boroughs, like Brooklyn or something. And I remember I got kind of a kick out of listening to him talk. He was like, "Yo, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you want?" And it was kind of cool. Because a lot of people, they have these Manhattan accents that are kind of bland or whatever. But this guy was definitely like a Brooklyn kind of guy. He was like, "Yo, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you?" And so anyhow, that was a little taste of my New York trip back in 2006, I think it was. Vicky Accardi, my sister screamed in Snow Beast. Wow. I don't know Snow Beast. Not familiar with that. But your sister got to scream in it? Was she a professional screamer? MJ Daniel, my mom worked for FEMA in New York City for 9/11, and they gave her a ticket to see Lion King on Broadway. Well, that was nice of them. That was probably a really nice show to see. Harry KP says Maverick TV series issue still exist? Issue? I don't know what that means. James Garner joined by Jack Kelly, episodes into first season according to Wiki. Maverick TV is an old TV show, right? From, I don't know if that was late 50s, early 60s, whenever it was. I think they were black and white. You could probably find it somewhere. I remember when I was living at my previous apartment, they had this channel, was it like the Inspiration Channel, which is basically kind of like a religious channel, but I think it's the channel I'm thinking of. But they would play a whole slate of westerns, and I was really enjoying that show because they were playing, I think, like High Chaparral and I don't know, I can't remember now, but a bunch of old westerns that I used to watch. So I was watching them, and I don't remember if Maverick was on there, but there are certain cable channels or maybe some streaming outlets where you could probably find Maverick. But they haven't made Maverick since whenever it stopped filming in the early 60s, probably. Big Hook says, my only memory of New York City was in '77, and I remember how dirty it was, cigarette butts everywhere, and nobody looked happy. Yeah, in '77, I think it was a whole different type of thing going on. It was very dirty and grimy, and it was a little dangerous and everything. And then they sort of went through this whole, at some point in I don't know if it was the 80s or early 90s or the 90s, they sort of kind of cleaned up things, and they made it a lot more, I guess, tourist friendly. So the New York City of the 70s is completely different than when I was there in 2006. Tawana says, no, Tokyo people are cold and distant. In Osaka, it is always fun. Okay. WW wants to know who is testifying today. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. W. Fancy wants to find out too. Philly 3000 says, you can't forget They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper. He made some great movies. You can't forget They Live? Oh, that was see, when you just do it in lowercase, I just think that's part of that's like, but I think that's a movie title. They Live. You should at least capitalize the first letters of each title word. Roddy Piper, yeah, whatever. I never got into that whole Roddy Piper thing. Although I remember seeing him in a few things, and I thought he was funny, and he did okay. But I just didn't really get into it. MJ Daniels says, we lived with a family in Yokohama for 2 weeks for our high school student exchange in 1980. Had a great time. Well, good for you. That's good that you had a good time. Yeah, you had good memories of it. Denise Wilkins says, I don't have actors. I don't have actors. I have police officers and pro baseball players in mine. In your what? Because when I'm behind in the chat, then I forget what we were referencing or what that's a reference to. In your family, I guess because there's a Philly 3000 was talking about his dad was an actor. So Denise doesn't have actors, but Denise has police officers and pro baseball. That's cool. Mad Max here, Slava Ukraini right back at you. Let's get those attackums out there. Let's get that new ammo and that new weaponry going, and let's just push back the Ruskies. Push them back. Big Hook says, Judge is afraid Trump will dox. Lock him up, man. Lock him up. Lock Trump up then. Mad Max says, what's up, guys and gals? What's up? What's up? Mad Max, I like The Big Valley. I used to watch The Big Valley too. I like that show because it had, and I loved Heath. He was a cool dude, of course. And I loved, what's her face? Linda, what's her face? The blonde. She's really beautiful and pretty. But yeah, The Big Valley, that was a great show. We hadn't mentioned that. So thanks for coming in, Mad Mac. And that's one of the shows we hadn't mentioned yet. And it was a great show. I used to watch it all the time. Barbara Stanwyck was the mom, 2106 says, yeah, let the Russians orcs go back to their mothers and live in peace. Yeah, just send them back in body bags too. MJ Daniels says Garner went to the Rockford Files not long after. Yeah, well, Rockford Files was like 70s. So Have Gun Will Travel was, I think it was late 50s, early 60s. Then he had a pretty good movie career, like The Great Escape, and he did a lot of movies in the 60s. And then he got Rockford Files, I think, kind of early 70s, mid 70s, whatever. And that was a big hit show, I think, because I used to watch it and I loved that show. Great show. And then after that, I guess he did a few more movies. It seemed like he didn't do much after that, but he did movies after that too. MJ Daniel says, I saw Piper on the Portland or Pro Wrestling in the late 70s, well before he started acting. Yeah, I remember him with his little kilt and all that kind of stuff. Big Hook says, heard the bridge to Crimea was on fire. Oh, well, did they bomb it? Did the Ukrainians bomb it? Fancy says, Big Valley, I like Nick. Yeah, Nick was cool. They were all cool. I liked Nick. I liked Heath. I liked the big blonde girl, whatever her name was. It was a good show, yeah. Min J. Daniel says, start to push back on Russia by voting out Republicans. Yes, MJ Daniel. Yes, absolutely. Vote blue if you know it's good for you. And that includes all you I guess Palestinian Americans and protesters of the Gaza war thingy. If you want any hope for peace in the Middle East, if you have any hope and any desire for this situation to get us settled in the best way possible, then you will not vote for Republicans. Because the Republicans, led by Donald Trump, let's say, for instance, if they had their way, they would give Netanyahu carte blanche to just completely annihilate everyone in Gaza and just take it over and then build high-rise condos and hotels and on the beachfronts there. So your best chance is with Biden. That's my opinion. If you really want things to get resolved as quickly and as peacefully as possible, and get onto a road to maybe a two-state solution, or at least get the bombing to stop, your best bet is to go to ride with Biden, because he's working on it and he's getting aid into there. He's getting aid. He's getting truckloads and airdrops. He's doing everything he can, and you can criticize Netanyahu all you want, and he deserves it. But without Biden, just think, Netanyahu would be unleashed, and Biden has at least been able to at least slow him down to some degree. So stop with this nonsense of Genocide Joe and all that crap, because Joe Biden and his administration, his people are working tirelessly on getting this resolved and getting Netanyahu to stop with this overreaction. And he's working tirelessly to get aid in there, to get trucks and hundreds of trucks and in there a day, thousands of trucks now, I think, and they're doing airlifting. They built that temporary dock out on the ocean. I mean, all that is because of Biden. Do you think Trump would do that? He wouldn't do fucking shit. He would just say, Netanyahu, bomb away. I don't give a fuck. Here's some more bombs, and you can just level the whole place. That's what Trump would do. So stop with this fucking nonsense. Now I understand this is great. It's protest. It's free speech, and you're letting you're letting the president and the world know your displeasure in seeing so many innocent people be killed over there. And I agree with that, and I have no problem with that. But if you're going to say like you're not going to vote for Biden, then what you're saying is, to me, is you'd rather take your chances on Trump, and if Trump wins, the Palestinians are fucked. Royally fucked. They have no chance. They have no chance of survival. They have no chance of a two-state solution. They have no chance of getting out of this in one piece if Trump becomes president. So you can just kiss all your family in Palestine goodbye if Trump wins. Just kiss them goodbye. They're gone. Your best chance is with Biden. Your best chance of any type of peaceful resolution, of anything going forward, is with Biden. Period. End of story. Trucker John has spoken, so it is done. All right. MJ Daniels says, taking out the bridge is a good tactic. You're going back to the Ukraine thing. W says, Philly 3000, you have to ask Connie Kelly about that, unless blah, blah, I don't know. That's about, I guess I skipped down. Karen Beth says, they need to be done with Bibi. He is the biggest obstacle. Yes, we know. Bibi's a fucking asshole. He's Trump, Israeli version of Trump. We all know that. But he's who's in there, and that's up to the Israelis to get rid of him. They need to get rid of him. But they're not going to do it until this war is over. You know, I mean, that you got to do first things first. So that's what they're stuck with for now. Hopefully this can get finished up, and then they're going to dispose of him. They're going to get rid of him eventually. And by getting rid of him, I mean they're going to vote him out or whatever. WW blah blah Philly 3000. I'm on NASA's YouTube channel. That's where I heard it from. Was that about the bridge? Take me to the bridge. To 106, Trump would demand a cut of Jared's development on Gaza high-rise hotels. Yeah, that's how they look at it. All they see is Gaza and Palestine as an opportunity to land develop, as a commercial thing. So first of all, they got to get the pesky people out of there, those pesky Palestinians out of there, and then they can go in, you know, and do that. So, like I said, you got that, or you can get Biden in there, who is really, really, really trying his best. And you know what? I think, and I said this last night on the Liberal Dan Show, but under the guise of Fowler's Wrath, I think, that I think that that Biden will, he definitely, I think his patience is wearing thin, and I think he's been trying to get Netanyahu to stop with all this bombing and everything. And eventually, I think he is going to withhold aid. Now that doesn't mean that we wouldn't defend them if Iran or, you know, all these other places started to attack Iran. We're still going to have, Israel, we're still going to have their back. We're still going to defend them in that way. But for this situation, for this, what's going on now, we could block whatever aid, whatever military aid we're giving them, or weapons and money. We could just put I think, and maybe I'm wrong, I guess it would have to go through Congress or whatever, but he could say, hey, we need to do like a moratorium or whatever. We're going to stop, you know, we're not going to be a part of this, and all we're going to do is concentrate on is getting food and medical supplies into the Palestinians. But he could, this, like Dan was saying, you have that carrot to dangle. Well, at some point, you've really got to have a strong, come in strong, that you're gonna take that shit away. And I think Biden is, I think he's getting close to it, because, you know, it's got to stop at some point. You know, I mean, I understand wiping Hamas, but you got troops. Go in and start. That's what we did. We did house to house clearing. We were clearing houses out in Iraq with our guys. That's what Chris Kyle was doing. He was leading. You know, groups in, and they were going door to door, busting doors and trying to find terrorists and shit. You could do that. You could do that instead of just bombing all the time. Anyhow, I've spoken on it. WW, you're a loser. Fuck you. You're the loser, motherfucker. Robin M, here's Thunder. Mr. Spock says, laughing out loud, the United States is not the center of the universe, but the United Earth is. Unite Earth in the madness. Logic rules. Well, the United States is not the center of the universe, but the United States is the biggest power of the Earth. Vicky Accardi, Israel doesn't vote directly. It's a parliamentary type style system, so it's been harder to get them out. Yeah, it is a weird system. It is really weird. Margot, hey, there's Margot. Thanks for being here. I haven't seen you before in chat today, anyhow. So thanks for being here. Did you talk about DEA's reclassification of cannabis? No, we haven't. Did they finally take cannabis off that what was it, Schedule C or whatever they call it? We haven't talked about that, so that's exciting. Robin M says there's a Trump village in the Golan Heights named in his honor in 2019 by the Zionists. Yeah. See there? Mr. Spock, all BS crap, that would be eliminated, blah, blah. Big Hook says, Israelis are not Netanyahu and Palestinians are not Hamas. Neither population approves of their leadership. Well, the Palestinians voted for Hamas to be their leaders, didn't they? I guess the Israelis voted for Netanyahu, but, choose better, people. Just like in America, we chose Trump, albeit with a lot of Russian influence campaigns, a lot of shenanigans going on, but elections matter. Elections have consequences. We can see that in Israel. I guess we can see that in Palestine, and we can see that right here in the good old US of A. Elections have consequences, so make sure you vote. And vote for people who are going to do good things, not bad things. And Trump does bad things. He's a bad person. And Joe Biden is a pretty decent dude, in my book. Mad Mac, imagine no possessions. Oh, okay, we're going to do the John Lennon song. Schedule 1, there you go, Robin N. Yeah, so Schedule 1 narcotics list, says Big Hook. So I didn't hear about that, Margot. Was that Margot who mentioned that? Yeah. So that is interesting. If you want to talk about that some more and enlighten us on that, because I hadn't heard about that. So that's kind of I think that's a big story. So if you want to chime in on that. Philly 3000, I'm just ignoring everything from W right now because he's a dick. Philly 3000, I would love to see Moskowitz run for president and have Jasmine for his VP. Yeah, maybe in 2028 or something. Mr. Spock says China has 10 times the conventional firepower of the United States. Yeah, but it's probably all cheap China crap. China allows it to happen for Western dollars. When the West is no longer useful, they will act. China is waiting for 2024 election. No, China does not have 10 times the firepower of the United States. That's bullshit. The United States has the biggest military of the next, 6 biggest nations combined. So no, you're wrong. Mad Mac, you're a loser. Okay, so we're doing the songs here. Mr. Spock, TK act on Singapore. TK act on Singapore. I don't know what that is. 3 Girls, 3 Wills. Do you think all of these demonstrations will affect the elections, especially if they go to Democratic Convention? Remember 1968. I think it could, especially in Michigan, right? But like I said, I think Joe Biden is going to do some stuff I think he's going to pull funding from Israel if they don't fucking straighten their shit up, man. I really do. And I think he needs to keep emphasizing that, you know, they are leading the way in getting aid into the Palestinians. How much aid we're getting into them, so they're not starving. They're not starving. I mean, we're getting hundreds and hundreds of truckloads of food and medical supplies in there every day. They set up a pier or whatever, a dock, and they're doing airdrops. They're doing everything they can. And I think he's going to have to really come in hard now. I think he's been he's tried diplomacy with Netanyahu. He's tried, reasoning with him. At some point, I think Joe Biden is going to have to say, okay, motherfucker, then you're on your own or whatever. We're not funding this operation with you. We're not, as far as the military side of it. But I still think, I still think Biden is going to win, but it's definitely an issue. It's definitely something that just can't be overlooked. It has to be addressed. Biden has to address this, and I think he will. And I mean, even more than he already has. I think he has. I think he's been working on it behind the scenes stuff that we don't see, and a lot of stuff that if you're in the midst of negotiations, there's a lot of stuff maybe you can't talk about because you don't want to kind of fuck up the negotiation or whatever. Fiddler 2000, did you see all his new high technology they've been developing? No, I did not. Big Hook, as RR says, go to the Republican convention. Was that Ronald Reagan? Arvin M says, people getting arrested at these protests aren't students or affiliated with schools. Yeah, I was reading an article on that, and then kind of at the top of the show, we're talking about how there are students that are saying, hey, these people that are doing this shit, this vandalizing and that are calling for violence and stuff like that, they're not with us. We don't even know who they are. They're outsiders. So there are outsiders that are coming in that are like saboteurs. So yeah, that's going on. That's a real thing. Randy Rhodes. Oh, is it Randy Rhodes? As Randy Rhodes says, go to the Republican convention. Okay, Bangkok. Okay, yeah. Not Ronald Reagan. Randy Rhodes. Okay. Robin M says they are violent instigators. Yes, they're violent instigators. Like I said, they're saboteurs. They're agent provocateurs. Mr. Spock says, yes, they do, Trucker John, and China builds every year without using anything. They have the largest conventional army globally. You're very wrong, John. No, I'm right. The United States has the biggest military, bigger than the next 6 of the biggest economies in the world combined. Look it up. China lover. I'm just kidding with you about the China lover part. Randy Rhodes, yeah. Terry Taylor says, I really feel the protest over Palestinian is Putin CYO psyops? I don't know. Sowing discord to help Trump. Also, yes, saboteurs in the protest. Yeah, I think that they're getting a lot of misinformation coming from Russian troll farms or whatever they're called. Just like they did in 2016 with the Macedonian troll farms, whatever, that were all Russian backed. It's kind of funny here in Las Vegas, not funny, but odd, peculiar, that all of a sudden, as soon as 10/7 happened, it wasn't just a few days, and all of a sudden there was all these Palestinian protesters. Where the fuck did they all of a sudden pop up in Las Vegas? And they all had really nice flags and signs, all nice, professionally made signs. Where the fuck did all that shit come up? And then they're driving those billboard trucks that they drive up and down the strip, all about free Palestine, and talking shit about Israel. Where does all that money come from? Those to run those ads. And that's just in Vegas. They're probably doing that all over the country. And that's not just some grassroots things. That's AstroTurf. That is backing of Iran and Russia. You know, they're the ones that are doing these influence campaigns. They did it in 2016. They're doing it again. Don't fall for it. Don't fucking fall for it, man. Roxanne, conventional army stuff is outdated. We have the biggest and baddest military, way bigger and badder than China. We're not afraid of China. Margot says, I believe Biden is expected to reschedule it into a category that includes Tylenol steroids. All right, that sounds a lot better, right? PSYOP, yeah, Philly 3000, did you hear about the Charlotte shooting for police? I just saw the headline on that, and I just thought, man, that's horrible. But I didn't get the detail. I didn't get the deets. But that's horrible. You know, that's really a horrible thing. W says some shit. I'm not going to read his shit anymore. Mr. Spock says, and that was 2 years or so ago. To my knowledge, the United States does not have an operational hypersonic weapon. Well, you probably aren't on the need to know list. I'm sure the United States government has all kinds of shit that we don't know about. Robin M says, I caught some of that, Philly. Don't know the details of why they were serving a warrant. So that was one of those deals, huh? Janelle Walker just says John. I don't know. Well, Janelle? Hello, Janelle. Vicky Carter says, China counts every fishing boat as Navy too. They're full of shit. China, not the fish. Vicky Carter, good one. Yes, that's right. House Sparks talked about that. They're full of shit, and we're not talking about the fish. Yeah. W says Arabs are rich. Okay, yeah, whatever. Some of them are. Mr. Spock says, laughing out loud, little kids in the sandbox. I have bigger dick than you. Pathetic. Whatever, dude. Big Hook. The China cheat and still culture has been the biggest obstacle to China. They go to war and the food dries up as sanctions will happen, and they are 70% dependent on food from outside. Yeah, all I gotta say is fuck China. Fuck Russia, fuck China. They're assholes. I'm talking about the governments, not the people. Not the people. Janelle says, never mind. Oops. I don't know, Janelle. Hi. I don't know what's going on. Roxanne says, so sorry for you, Mr. Spock. Oh. Okay. I don't know what that's about. Churchill says, the Russians are pros at PSYOPs. We all need, to be hyper aware of their tactics. 2016 election should be a lesson. Exactly. Let's learn from our past so we don't repeat it, right? So we don't repeat the bad stuff and the dumb stuff. And I think a lot of us, we're on to it. I think we're on to, the PSYOPs, the information influence campaigns. Hopefully the newer, younger generations coming up, we need to teach them, I guess, because they were just little babies in 2016, and now it's 8 years later, and a lot of them are out there protesting, and a lot of them are voting age. So we need to remind them about PSYOPs and, influence campaigns and shenanigans. Teach your kids about shenanigans. And just make sure you have a broom handy. Big Hook says Zihan has predicted China will fall in the next 15 years. I don't know who Zihan is. So what about Xi? He seems to have a pretty tight grip on everything. 53,000. They do have laser on some ships. Peter Zihan, Big Hook says. I don't know who Peter Zihan is. But he's a hell of a guy, apparently. WW says, I was born with birth defect that gave me whatever that is. And okay, I'm sorry to hear that, WW. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with the price of tea in China, but I am sorry for that. Mr. Spock says, sorry for you, Roxanne. Armfield, truth hurts. We all have to live together. I'm rooting for you. Okay, the bottom line is, we ain't afraid of China. All right? Our military can handle anything. We're the biggest, baddest, bounciest balls on the planet. So, we ain't afraid of China. We ain't afraid of Russia. And I say we, I mean all the young guys that are in the military, all the young bucks or whatever. I'm gonna get vaporized probably because I can't do shit. But you know what I mean. I'm just cleaning these glasses. It's I don't know what happens, how they get dirty. I didn't really. Was I touching my glasses the whole time? Seems like they got a little fingerprinty. I don't know. But anyhow, look at the guys. Look at the clock and walk. 2.5 hours here. I've been yapping at you, and I've been yelling. Maybe I'm going a little long because maybe too long because I'm starting to get a little. Maybe I'm getting a little grumpy and grouchy. I'm calling you guys names and I'm being rude to you. So that's probably a good indicator that maybe I'm going a little long here. I apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings, but you know, hey, I also gotta be me. I gotta be me, which means that's being a mean asshole, I guess. I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago or a couple months ago, I would say that a lot of times when I go out, start my Uber thing, that I say a little prayer to the invisible spaghetti monster, Sky King, praying for kindness, for me to address everything out of kindness and love, because I have to remind myself to do that. I have to. It's kind of a reminder to operate out of kindness and love instead of out of grumpiness and meanness or whatever, which is kind of like, which seems to be sort of my default setting. Talking about settings, right? So I have to do this reminder, this little prayer, to not be an asshole, to be kinder and gentler, and have a kinder, gentler machine gun hand, basically, to steal from Neil Young, who was stealing from George H.W. Bush. I guess. Anyhow, guys, so we might be calling it pretty, or we could take it up to the noon hour, which will bring us right into Randy Rhoads, the RR, not Ronald Reagan, but Randy Rhoads. I don't know, but we might call it. We might be wrapping up here pretty quick, or in the next few minutes, I guess. Denise Wilkins says, no country wants to go to war with the United States of America. We are more advanced in tech weapons military. We are United fucking States of America. That's right, Denise. You tell them, man. That's right. We are the United fucking States of America. We're like 10-0-1 or something. Big Hook, Hal quotes him often. Is that the Peter Zien? Oh, okay. Now that kind of rings a bell. Steve says, how about Jay Crockett for president? Jay Crockett. I don't know who Jay Crockett is. Is he the owner of Crockett Rockets? I don't know. Big Hook, long in the tooth, grumpy bear. Mr. Spock says, Ukraine gas to defend. Who's the attacker? Wait, Ukraine gas to defend. Who's the attacker? Same with Israel. Who's attacking who? Evil. First of all, it's who's attacking whom. Okay, whom is who the action is being done to. So it's who's attacking whom. That's number one. Number two, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Denise Wilkins says, and women and other soldiers of all types from all over America, we are stronger and more advanced. Thank you, Denise Wilkins. I agree wholeheartedly. John Pelosi. Hey, John, I don't know if I've ever seen you in the chat, in my chat. I have seen you in other chats. So welcome to the Trucker John, where if you hang out long enough, you might get yelled at by me and called a name. I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But welcome. It says, Mr. Spock, so if someone attacks you, this is John Pelosi saying this to Mr. Spock. If someone attacks you, you are fine not fighting back because fighting is wrong. That's a good rhetorical kind of question. Karen Bass says, Spaghetti Monster, someone's been watching South Park. Well, I do watch South Park, but the Flying Spaghetti Monster, I've been a pastafarian for, I think, way before South Park was ever around. Philly 3000, Stephen, she would be Moskowitz VP. That would be great. Oh, talking about Moskowitz and the other thing. Miss Spock, get a grip. Yeah, I need to get a grip. Mr. Spock, logic rules closed, case closed. Whatever. John Pelosi says, Mr. Spock, that's the spirit. Just babble on, dude. Big Hook says, you conveniently skip a lot. You talking about me? Skipping a lot? Well, sometimes I do skip because, like I say, I'll be 45 minutes behind in the chat or something if I don't skip a little bit. Like right now, I'm skipping down. Mr. Spock, have a happy day. This is getting too silly and stupid. I think you've summed up the Trucker John live stream perfectly. Silly and stupid. At least on my end. Not the chatters. You guys are the smart ones. With some exceptions. Hey, there's Seha. I've been surfing in the butthead. Wait. That Trucker John's still here. Yep, there he is. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like an insult. I don't know. Just saying. But I'm glad you're still here. Big Hook says, Randy Rhodes' family, John Pelosi. Yeah, John Pelosi. I've seen John Pelosi, I guess, in the Randy Rhodes chat. And I think in the House Sparks chat too, right? John Pelosi, you hang out in the House Sparks chat, don't you? I don't know. I've seen you around, and I'm glad you're here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for me. That'd be great. And maybe even share the show. Maybe someday I'll be as big as Randy Rhodes. Hey, a guy can dream, can he? Anyhow, I'm a big fan of Randy Rhodes. I've been watching, first listening, starting with Air America in 2004, and I've listened or watched to just about every single show she's done. I think I'm probably 98% of her shows I've watched or listened to. So I'm a big fan of Randy Rhodes. I don't always agree with her, but I don't always agree with House Sparks either. And I'm a huge fan of House Sparks. We don't have to be 100% in agreement. You know, I think as long as you're like 80, 85% in agreement with someone, that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I need some water. I'm getting a little... I think that coffee dehydrated me or something, and the talking. Okay, so, yeah, I went shopping the other day. I like to buy Crystal Geyser, but they didn't have any, so I got Dasani. John is chasing away all my allies. Mad Mac, chill out, everyone. Come on. Yeah. I know. Sometimes we get contentious, a little contentious. It happens. At the end of the day, let's just remember. I think we're all on the same side here, pretty much, and let's just remember that. You know, and by the same side, I mean vote blue if you know what's good for you. If you're in the United States of America. You're Canadians, you can't vote blue because you're Canadians. If you're from Tokyo, Japan, or from Europe, you can't vote blue because you do whatever you do. I don't know what you guys do, but if you're from the United States of America and you're watching this, then you need to vote blue if you know what's good for you. At the end of the day, after we get in our arguments and we get all huffy puffy, just remember, elections have consequences. It's important who you vote for. So it's important to vote. Stop voting for Republicans. Vote for Democrats if you want any chance. Like I said earlier, if you want any chance of any type of peace, any type of favorable outcome in Palestine, you're not going to get that with Republicans. You're going to get a complete annihilation. You're talking about genocide? Yeah. You get that with the Republicans. You're not going to get that with the Democrats. If you want to see that, if you want to see, maybe Medicare for all, if you want to see maybe keeping your Social Security, if you want to see maybe, I don't know, trying to do something about global warming so we don't just burn up, and trying to get emissions down, and CO2 down and all that stuff. If that matters to you, and which it does to me, then you're going to vote for Democrats. You're not going to vote for Republicans. So here in the United States, when I say vote blue, no matter, I don't know what the equivalent is in Canada or Australia or Japan or whatever. But here in the United States, it's vote blue no matter who. Because that's your best shot of getting those type of things that we seem to care about. WW says, we have awful Democrats in Illinois crooks. Are the Republicans not crooks in Illinois? So you're telling me that the Republicans in Illinois are fair-minded, legal, operating legitimately, and they are working for the good of the people? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because if you are, I'd call bullshit. Sehal says, flapping-headed Canadians full of lies, plastic money Canadians. All I'm saying is I don't know your system. I don't know if you have blue and red. I don't know what you guys call it. But here, blue is Democrat, red is Republican. That's all I'm saying. I'm not putting down Canadians. I'm not putting down other countries. I'm just saying, if I say vote blue, if you know what's good for you, I'm talking to the people in the United States, because I don't know what your guys' nomenclature is or whatever, WW, we elected a zillionaire governor to get rid of the Chicago mobsters in government. It is not that easy. No, it's not. That's why we can't give up. Denise Wilkins says, some dick people were getting sick of the disparaging of this country. Do you live here and take all that this country offers? That's fucking rude and disrespectful. If you don't like America, go. I think that if you have legitimate concerns about what the country is doing, about what our elected officials are doing, I think you certainly can voice your concerns. Sayal says, hey, there's Tamara Chance saying hello. Saying, I think live long and prosper. Blue Statue of Liberty. Thank you, Tamara, for being here. Good to see you. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share. We're at 48 thumbs ups. Can we get to 50? Be nice if we can get to the big 50. That'd be awesome. And let's get those subscriptions up. I want to get to 2,000 subscriptions. Denise Wilkins at Dumbia. Oh, it matters. We Americans always have to defend this country because someone somewhere wants to destroy us. We hate it because we are the best. We certainly are hated by, I think, by Russia and China and stuff like that because they hate democracy. We're hated certainly by the countries that hate democracy. Big Hook says, "Hey W, watch Rachel Maddow from last night. You guys are completely corrupt." Felipe is how long today? I believe he is on at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So adjust accordingly to your time zones. But as far as I know, he is going to be on at 3 Pacific time. Robin M says, "I think the animal symbolism of the two parties need to change. Elephants have empathy and the GOP do not." Yeah, I don't know how they came up with those. Goes way back. You know, those have been the symbols for forever. Denise Wilkins says at WW, "Native American, Mexican, both my ancestors have been on this land for over 900 years. Wow. WW says, "Canadians don't want to destroy us, Denise. Get your head out of the sand and stop looking for enemies." I don't think Denise said anything about Canada, did she? We are not a democracy. We are a democracy, so fuck you. We are a democracy. We are democratic republic that uses uses democracy, you know, as a way of electing people. So fuck off. Philly 3000. We need to invent weed bombs so when you drop them, everybody gets stoned. Everybody must get stoned. Denise says, "I said it." I must have skipped it. I don't know what you said about Canada. WW says, "NEA are not mobsters." Goodbye says another thing, whatever. We don't need all this bickering. Sales is completely corrupt. The idea that you can judge 800 million people over the actions of a few fucked up politicians makes you an idiot. Where are these 800 million people you're talking about? You talking about China? About China? We elect the electors for president. There's no electoral college for senators and House of Representatives or governors or state representatives. The only electors that we elect are for the president. And many of us think the electoral college is antiquated and should go. It's still a democracy, though, because it's still based on democratic principles. Do you realize what a principle is, Mr. 40 years school teacher? No one's talking about starving China, for God's sakes. We're not starving anybody. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, WW, if you know more than me, you sure sound fucking stupid at sometimes. So yeah, it says 33.3 million, 22. Saudi got the population of the U.S. wrong. Okay, maybe sorry. Yeah, when you said 800 million, I was trying to think, because China claims to have 1 billion people, but Hal Sparks always says it's more like probably 800 million or maybe less. WW, you may know more than me, but you sound like an idiot. Harry Kibbe, I'd like to take a hike. Big Hook, almost Randy Rhodes time. Need my daily fix. Yes, it is coming up here. It's 56 past the hour. So she comes on in about 10 minutes, even though the show starts at 12, but she comes on at 12:06. So we got a little bit of time here. Sehal says, I could live in a ditch in USA and feed myself. Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. We're going off on these weird tangents. But anyhow, the point of all of this is that here in the United States, what I was just trying to say, I don't know about other countries as far as like red and blue, right, left, whatever. You know, I'm just saying that when I say vote blue no matter who, I'm talking about here in the United States. Because we have a better chance. The Democratic Party is not perfect. Apparently, it's far from perfect in Illinois, according to WW. It's not perfect, but it I believe is the better choice of the two main parties. If there are things that you care about, like the environment and healthcare and Social Security and Medicare, and handle a two-state solution in Palestine, your best bet is to vote blue. That's my opinion, and a lot of people agree with me. And saying that Illinois Democrats are corrupt does not prove anything to me about the overall big picture. Apparently, you live in a fucked up state, so maybe you need to do your part to fix that. Expose the corruption and get good people in there. Anyhow, and it's not easy, like you said. It takes time. Anyhow, we had a great conversation about movies earlier. And I don't mind. Hey, a lot of people that do live streams, they don't talk about politics because they know that it gets contentious. It can get contentious, and they don't like to deal with the contention. But I'll talk about it because that's just me. I got to be me. I got to be true to myself. So if we talk about politics, fine. If we talk about movies, fine. If we talk about whatever, fine. But at the end of the day, what I was trying to say, at the end of the day, let's just remember that I think we all want the same things, basically. We want safety and security, and we want to pass on a better world than to our kids, right, and to our grandkids. So let's all do that in that spirit. Let's think of that. Let's make the place a better place for the next generations. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'll see you guys Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, for a Thursday talk with Trucker John. That's me. And then I'll come back Thursday later in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Pacific time for a House Sparks pre-show warm-up, where we all get together and we get ready for Hal, because he comes on an hour later on Thursday. So that's all that's about. It's just about us coming in, getting together, getting ready, because we're all anxious for Hal's to start, because he starts an hour later, and a lot of people are like, "Where's Hal? Where's Hal?" Where you just come in to the Trucker John channel, we hang out and get ready for Hal, and then at 4 p.m. Pacific time, boom, we all go over. Okay, that's how that works. So I'll see you guys Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And thanks to everyone for being here. Sehal, thanks for those membership donations or whatever you call it. I do appreciate it. I really, really do. Thanks to everyone who gave me a thumbs up and who subscribed and who shared the show. I see the analytics. You guys do share the show. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate WW, even though he's an asshole. And we called each other assholes, so I think we're even. But I do appreciate him being here and contributing to the chat. And I just wish it wasn't so stupid sometimes. I can't help myself, W. I can't help myself. I can't shut my mouth, can I? We're kind of patching things up, and then there I go. I called you stupid again. I just can't help myself. Anyhow, and I'm clapping as I'm talking. I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why the fuck am I doing this weird clapping thing? I've never done that before on the show. That's a new thing. Anyhow, look, let's just let bygones be bygones. You know, I love W in a certain way. He's annoying, pisses me off, but come on, you know. And all you guys, Seha, Big Hook, even Mr. Spock with the, you know, weird stuff he says. I love all you guys, and I hope you guys come back. So we'll see you Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and I hope that, you know, you guys remember. And this is the one thing you want to take away from this whole show is that you don't want to have tight muscles, so get loose so you don't pull a hammy.
Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for watching the Cook, hanging out with us, messing with us and stuff. It's very cool, you know. I really love it. Thanks. I, Donald J. Trump, do solemnly swear that I've never farted in court ever, not once, not ever, not ever. It's all lies, fake news.